With the election just 8 days away, it's off to Michigan today for Vice President Kamala Harris. The focus, investment in manufacturing. ABC's Karen Travers is traveling there with her.
Her campaign says she'll argue she would be a better president at protecting American jobs than her opponent, Donald Trump. She'll visit a facility that produces solar panel parts and received a $325 million federal grant last week, touring the assembly line and meeting with workers. She'll later visit a union training facility, meeting with instructors and apprentices. Tonight, the vice president will hold a rally with her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, in Ann Arbor, home to the University of Michigan.
Donald Trump campaigns in Georgia today following last night's Madison Square Garden rally. A lot of people are talking about that because of the racist comments made on stage preceding the former president's appearance, including this one by comedian Tony Hinchcliffe.
There's a lot going on. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico.
The Trump campaign says that joke doesn't reflect the views of Donald Trump. With more on new poll numbers out this morning, here's ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
The ABC News Ipsos poll has it as a statistically tied 2-point race among registered voters, with a slight 4-point lead for Harris among likely voters nationally. The survey gives Trump the advantage on the issues most important to voters, the economy and rising prices, while Harris is ahead of Trump on who's most trusted to protect democracy and look out for the middle class. Harris has a 29-point advantage over Trump when it comes to physical health and a 15-point edge on honesty and trustworthiness.
A truck slamming into a bus stop north of Tel Aviv on Sunday, killing at least one person, leaving 30 injured. The driver shot and killed. As of now, Israel is not labeling it a terrorist attack. McDonald's Quarter Pounders are returning to hundreds of locations where they were pulled last week. McDonald's says the onions, not the beef, was a source of a recent E. coli outbreak. You're listening to ABC News.
Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment. Each contract you own will pay $1 on January 8th, 2025, if that candidate is confirmed as the next U.S. president by Congress. Learn more about the presidential election contracts on Robinhood at www.robinhood.com/election. The risk of loss in trading commodity interests can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Commodity interest trading is not appropriate for everyone. Displayed prices are based on real-time market sentiment. This event contract is offered by Robinhood Derivatives, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Exchange and regulatory fees apply. Learn more at www.robinhood.com/election.
Warm fall weather and dry conditions combining to raise the wildfire risk in a large part of the country.
Late October heat is being felt all across the Midwest and the South today, and it's spreading east this week. Those high temperatures and drought conditions are creating dangerous fires in several states. Forecasters predict record high temperatures in parts of the country this week, creating the potential for even drier conditions. Record highs are expected today from El Paso all the way to Memphis.
That's ABC's Rhiannon Alley. NATO today is confirming that North Korean troops are in Russia helping to fight against Ukraine. Officials say some North Koreans have been deployed in border areas. Russian forces this morning apparently turning back a cross-border attack from Ukraine. ABC's Tom Rivers reports.
According to the local Russian governor, an armed group sought over the weekend to breach the border between Ukraine and Russia's southwestern Bryansk region, but it was reportedly beaten back. The situation now, he adds, is stable and under the control of the Russian military. It comes months after Kyiv staged an assault into the neighboring Kursk region. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
The New York City prison where Sean Diddy Combs is being held this morning was at the center of an operation involving several federal agencies. Complaints about the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn have long focused on rampant violence, staffing shortages, and foul conditions. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Meet Brian. He just got $5,000, and it was pretty easy. I'll tell you how in 10 seconds. Brian needed cash help. After being rejected by banks, he tried 27cash.com. Told them how much he needed, even let them know he had bad credit. In minutes, 27cash.com found a lender who deposited $5,000 into his bank account the very next day. If you need cash help, even if you have bad credit, go to 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
This is the Peninsula's Morning News. Good morning. It is Monday, October 28th. I'm Amanda Bacon, filling in for Todd Ortloff this week. We have reached the final Monday of October, and here's what's making news. In the early hours of October 25th, Clallam County Sheriff's Deputy Cody Brooks stopped a car on Highway 101 near Safeway. The driver, Corey Tyler Blake, 38, from Port Hadlock, was observed with a suspected drug smoking device. After consulting with the Olympic Peninsula Narcotics Enforcement Team, also known as OPNET, and obtaining a search warrant, deputies and a narcotics canine conducted a vehicle search, initially finding only marijuana. However, retracing Blake's route led to a backpack discarded along the road. Inside, authorities discovered 197.29 grams of suspected fentanyl pills in several packages and 140.72 grams of suspected methamphetamine in several packages. Blake was taken into custody for possession with intent to distribute. Blake has a lengthy criminal history. On April 1st of this year, criminal charges were filed in Clallam County Superior Court, and an arrest warrant was issued to arrest Blake for burglary first degree with 2 firearm enhancements and robbery first degree with 2 firearm enhancements. These charges stemmed from his involvement in a Sequim home invasion on March 28th of this year. On April 2nd, OPNET and Clallam County Sheriff's Office located Blake at an apartment in Kent. With the assistance of Kent Police Department, he was arrested and booked into Clallam County Jail on the above-mentioned charges. Now, for a look what happened over the weekend, here is our weekend wrap-up.
Our English language is one of the world's most precise and expressive, and yet we still have people who must communicate by force. This past weekend started with an assault, 9:23 Friday morning in Port Angeles at East 12th, and continued with the next call an hour and a half later to the same address for the same reason. The third assault was reported at 1:20 in Sequim, the fourth 10 minutes later in Sequim, the last assault in Sequim, 7:18 Saturday night. 4 other complaints involved threats, all 4 in Greater Port Angeles, and harassments. The weekend's first one near 5th and Pine, Port Angeles, the rest in Sequim on West Cedar, Salal Way, and South 3rd Avenue, all completed by 5:10 Saturday afternoon, leaving the rest of the weekend free for other activities. For example, somebody had time for a burglary, the weekend's only one, discovered and reported at 8:40 Saturday night from an East 12th Street address. And some thefts, a car theft at Joyce Piedmont Road Friday afternoon. The next 2, and the weekend's last, were reported at 4:38 and 6:55 Friday afternoon from East 1st and East 3rd, that last one from downtown Safeway store. Fire personnel rushed to reports of lines down along Robbins Road, Sequim, a smoke investigation at Laird's Road Saturday morning, plus several commercial and residential fire alarms in Greater Sequim and Port Angeles. Police and State Patrol investigated at least 8 vehicle accidents, most in Greater Port Angeles, but Sequim had one at 680 West Washington and added another to the growing number at the River Road and West Washington intersection. All the while, we here in Port Angeles seem to have been reducing the number of crashes at 101 and Colonel's Way, for example. Still, concerning traffic, law enforcers processed DUI violations in Port Angeles midday Friday on East 1st, another in Forks late Saturday night. Yet, they were able to squeeze in 21-plus traffic stops, 13 building checks, and 12 welfare checks. One of only a few weekend surprises was the weekend abandoned vehicle number. By midday Saturday, they had reports of 9 abandoned vehicles. All were found before noon Saturday, all but one in Port Angeles, the other in Forks. Sequim didn't even get an honorable mention. They had none, and that's just the way they like it. Sandy Keys, Radio Pacific Local News.
We'll be back with more news after this. End-of-life decisions are hard. Be it pre-planning or sudden loss, you need to have an advocate in your corner, which is why I wholeheartedly recommend Drennan & Ford Funeral Home and Crematory in Port Angeles, the only locally owned funeral home and crematory in Clallam County. Their expertise ensures a smooth process so you can focus on healing and being with your loved ones. Their help through the darkest time in my life will forever stay with me. Call 360-457-1210.
Here is why voting yes on both the upcoming school levy and bond measures is easy. What will the construction bond do to my taxes? Great news. Nothing. It's not an extra tax, just phase 2 of a disciplined 30-year plan that's already happening to rebuild or renew all Port Angeles schools. The middle school rebuild is already on time and on budget, with an emphasis on local contractors. We just need to stay with the plan. Easy call. Paid for by Port Angeles Citizens for Education.
Hi, this is Bill Benedict. I served 2 of my 4 terms as Clallam County Sheriff with Commissioner Randy Johnson. He was and still is an exceptionally talented community leader and problem solver who puts the welfare and concerns of his constituents ahead of partisan politics. Clallam County needs the proven leadership, accountability, and political independence of Randy Johnson to continue as District 2 County Commissioner. Please join me in voting for Randy this November 5th.
Paid for by the committee to elect Randy Johnson.
Well, the 2024 general election is just a week and a day away. According to the Washington Secretary of State website, 30.83% of Clallam County ballots have been returned, equaling 18,069 ballots, with 0.81% of them, or 146 ballots, being challenged. How does that stack up against the rest of Washington? As of Friday afternoon, Washington State shows a 22.55% return rate of the almost 5 million registered voters, with 0.92% of those ballots being challenged, or 10,321. If you have not voted, here are the official 24-hour drop-box locations in Clallam County: in Carlsberg near Sunny Farms, in Clallam Bay in front of the Clallam Bay Branch Library, in Forks outside Forks City Hall, Nia Bay in front of Washburn's General Store, in Port Angeles in the Courthouse Circular Drive, and also a box directly across from this disabled parking, in CQ at the PUD in the drive-up lane, Squim 651 West Washington, which is in the parking lot of the old J.C. Penney's, and the business hour drop box in Port Angeles is at the Elections and Voter Registration Office in the courthouse, which is in room 42. They are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and on Election Day, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. In local sports, the Rough Rider swim team will send 10 of their swimmers to the district meet November 18th and 19th at Mount Tahoma High School. Brooke St. Louis, Lizzie Shaw, Amaya Nelson, Danica Esserjezen, Lindsay Reed, Damon Sierra, Emerson Dubois, Lucy Townsend, Chloe K. Sanders, and Mia Francis all qualified for district. Lindsay Reed placed first in diving and the 200 intermediate. Damon Sierra placed first in the 100 butterfly. Emerson Dubois placed second in the 500 freestyle, and Chloe K. Sanders placed third in the 100 breaststroke. In soccer action, the Squim Wolves went on the road to 8th-ranked North Kitsap and again lost a heartbreaker 2-1. Kylie Winter scored the goal for the Wolves with an assist from Harper Moore. Wolves goalie Callie Moore made 10 saves. The Squim Wolves football team can clinch a district playoff spot with a win over North Mason Thursday night in a game you can hear here on KONP radio. North Mason lost to Olympic 51-0 last Friday night. Speaking of Olympic, the Port Angeles Rough Riders will finish their season at home Friday night against a very big and very talented Olympic Trojan team. You can hear that game here on Newsradio KONP. We'll be back with more after this.
Tri-State Roofing is celebrating the grand pre-opening in Squim. Tri-State specializes in more than just roofs, siding, gutters, patio covers, and doors. And the best part is, we got you covered with incredible financing. Project now and pay later, much later. Zero down payment, zero payments, and zero interest for up to 18 months on approved credit. Experience the Tri-State way. We've got you covered 24/7. Call 253-ROOFING.
State Roofing, we got you covered.
Mike Chapman has proudly served our community as an elected official since 2001. Before that, he was a law enforcement officer. We've seen extremist threats to abortion access, and Mike has never stood idly by when there's a threat. That's why he has always been 100% pro-choice as your state representative. Mike would be honored to continue standing up for our freedoms as our next state senator.
Paid for by Chapman for Senate, Democrat.
In 1983, Tom and Ida McEwen opened All Weather Heating and Cooling. Their vision for a family-owned and operated business with personalized customer service made them the #1 choice for all your heating and cooling needs. By 2014, it was time to pass down the business, and daughter Janae and her business partner Dustin Halverson purchased All Weather. In preserving Tom and Ida's vision, customer service is still their #1 priority. All Weather Heating and Cooling, because everyone calls us.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. Chance of rain showers today, otherwise cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. Daytime highs approaching 53, westerly winds 8 to 15 miles an hour. Slight chance for showers tonight, lows level off around 41, partly cloudy skies. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times tomorrow. Chance of rain showers, daytime highs approaching 51. Low 50s Wednesday, upper 40s by Thursday. That's a look at your forecast, powered by weatherology.com. I'm Derek Height. Currently 48.
Prayers answered. Good morning, I'm Jay Reynolds. The Bears scoring in Washington with 25 seconds to go yesterday. They take a 3-point lead. Washington needs a touchdown.
Daniels backing up. He's just going to have to let one fly. Steps up, fires, heads towards the end zone. It is
launches into the area of the end zone, tipped, and it's caught by Noah Brown. He was the tip man, and this place is now gone into bedlam mode. Washington with the miracle finish.
They are deflated in Chicago, ESPN 1000, after the elation from Big 100 in Washington. Commanders winning it on the Hail Mary. Niners hold off the Cowboys and win by a touchdown. Eagles go to 5-2 with their win over Cincinnati. Lions pounce on the Titans and win by 38. Detroit goes to 6-1. Chiefs are the lone remaining unbeaten in the NFL. They go to 7-0 with a 7-point win over the Raiders. Tua returns to the Dolphins, but they lose to Arizona on a last-second field goal. Packers get a last-second field goal and beat the Jaguars. Jets lose to the Patriots. 5th consecutive loss for the Jets. Browns stun the Ravens 29-24. Kirk Cousins, 4 touchdowns. Falcons sweep the season series from the Bucs. Chargers beat the Saints 26-8. Broncos go to 5-3 with a win over the Panthers. Bills top the Seahawks by 3 touchdowns. Their 4th win by at least 21 points this season. NBA Warriors lose to the Clippers, and Golden State loses Steph Curry to a rolled ankle in the 4th quarter. Tyrese Maxey, 45 points. Sixers beat the Pacers in overtime. Blazers get past the Pelicans. They avoid going to 0-3 again. Nets beat the Bucks for their 1st win of the season. Despite a partially dislocated left shoulder, Shohei Ohtani is set to play for the Dodgers in Game 3 of the World Series at Yankee Stadium tonight. The game is available on ESPN Radio.
Steve Theringer is honored to be your state representative, working with you to fund education, strengthen our healthcare system, making investments in our ports and parks, and promoting new forest products. We need to improve access to healthcare, improve long-term care, and protect our environment while growing our economy. By working together at the state and local level, we can build thriving communities to help our families flourish. Please vote Steve Theringer so we may continue working together to make the Olympic Peninsula an even better place to live.
Paid for by Theringer for State Representative Democrat.
Need a urologist? Urology is back at Olympic Medical Center. Doctors Laurel Mast and Timothy Hewitt have joined our team, seeing patients for urology care at OMC starting this fall. Whether you're dealing with prostate problems, incontinence, or a feeling that you always need to go, a referral from your doctor to OMC's new urologists is just what you need. Learn more today at olympicmedical.org/urology.
Newsradio KONP Business.
All right, let's check in with our Bloomberg Money Minute on this Monday, October 28th.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute.
Maybe you were among passengers affected by that July software outage that led to thousands of canceled flights. Delta Airlines was especially hard hit. Now Delta is suing the cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike, which issued the software update that disabled computers around the world. Delta said the update hobbled its operations for days and affected more than 1 million of its customers. Boeing has launched an almost $19 billion share sale, one of the largest ever for a public company, to address the troubled plane maker's liquidity needs and head off a potential credit rating downgrade to junk. This as a machinist strike enters week number 7. Volkswagen workers in Germany will pause production today to join rallies surrounding the car maker's plans for factory closures there. VW is expected to post declining sales and profit when it reports its results Wednesday. Futures point to a higher open for Wall Street this morning, and crude oil prices are tumbling. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Let's check that traffic this morning as you get ready to start your work week. This morning brought to us by McCrory Carpet One and Angelus Furniture. National Karastan Month is underway now at McCrory Carpet One, offering the biggest savings of the year on Karastan flooring, with prices starting at just $2.99 a square foot for carpet and $4.99 a square foot for LVP. If you desire timeless flooring for your home or business, Karastan flooring is flawless, long-lasting, and made for a life lived beautifully. Right now, get 12 months of 0% financing OAC. When it comes to the perfect flooring, there's no better combo than Karastan and my friends at McCrory Carpet One.
At Angelus Furniture, you're welcome to come in and just browse. Take your time, there's lots to see. And at Angelus Furniture, you'll never be pressured to buy.
We want to be there if you've got questions, that's for sure, and we want to help. But we also don't want to hang all over you if you just want to look around.
For the bedroom, dining room, living room, and more, get comfort, style, and value at Angelus Furniture on East 1st Street, Port Angeles.
Newsradio KONP, traffic and roads.
Well, I'm happy to report that my buddy Steve is at the helm this morning, giving us what we need to know up at Clallam Transit. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, pretty good traffic right now, just light traffic through the Port Angeles Squim area. Really not much of a problem or anything going on out there. You should be in pretty good shape this morning. Same thing on the highway between Port Angeles and Squim. Other than wet roads, really no issues out there, and light traffic moving at the speed limit right now. If you're headed out any further, Hood Canal Bridge, good to go with no scheduled marine openings, and looks like state ferries are running on time this morning. If you're headed out to the west end right now, 101's in good shape all the way out to the Forks area. No problems out there other than rain showers and a few heavy rain showers in spots, so just be prepared for that. But light traffic and things moving along pretty smoothly out there. So everybody take care, be safe this morning. This is Steve reporting live from Clallam Transit for KONP.
Thank you, Steve. Always nice to have our buddies up at Clallam Transit let us know what's going on out in the world as they know it. If you want to learn more about Clallam Transit and how they are helping you get to and from your destinations here in Clallam County and beyond, actually, you can log on to our website, myclallamcounty.com, and check out that beautiful bus picture on the side of our page. Click on it, and you'll be able to find out all the information that you possibly need to know, plus info about their No Fare program. Not no fare as in like, that's so not fair, but no fare as in like no moolah. I found a little song that I think will help us get started on this Monday morning. Get up, stretch, move, and embrace the day, because it could be the best Monday that you've ever had.
These are the days when you wish your bed was already
If you have a birthday today, happy birthday. We hope it's a great one. You share your birthday with some pretty awesome people. Or should I say, these people share their birthday with a pretty awesome person. Dennis Franz is 80. That one shocked me. Caitlyn Jenner is 75. Annie Potts, the cutie patootie Annie Potts, is 72. Bill Gates is 69. Lauren Hawley is 61. Actor-comedian Andy Richter is 58. Julia Roberts is 57. And Joaquin Phoenix is 50 years old today. And just want to make sure you guys know the very big week that it is International Magic Week. And just like this, I'm going to make it roll into the Success Journal.
Now, the Success Journal. Here's Chris Whitting.
Marge didn't plan to start her own business. All she wanted to do was make life a bit easier for her young son. Marge's boy had a health problem. He was asthmatic, and food allergies made things even worse for him. The boy couldn't eat factory-made bread, the soft stuff you buy at the store. So, Marge began baking whole wheat loaves in her kitchen. Her son loved the stuff, and friends who tasted that bread wanted to buy some too. Suddenly realizing her income could rise, Marge founded a bread company there in her home. Her instant success was like a slice of heaven for the financially struggling family. The company Marge Rudkin started in her home is now a giant. I'm sure you know the name. Pepperidge Farm. It's a name worth toasting. With the Success Journal, I'm Chris Whitting.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Getting ready for more rain and longer nights? We've got you. Right now, you can earn up to $25 in bonus rewards when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs and 2 Rain-X Quantum Elite wiper blades. More rewards and better visibility at America's #1 lighting destination, AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double hot, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Well, I do now.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
In 1980, Washington elected its last Republican governor. Not even California or New York can say that. And for nearly 40 years, our Democrat governor has always been a lawyer. Guess what? In 2024, Democrats nominated another lawyer. Same old, same old. It's time to bring in a King County sheriff. Vote Dave Reichert.
We can't change the past, but the future, that belongs to us. I'm Dave Reichert.
Paid for by We Stand With Dave Reichert, Republican.
Welcome to Volunteer Spotlight, sponsored by Jim Hagwood, Port Angeles Realty. This is Alan Barnard, and this Volunteer Spotlight shines on the all-volunteer Clallam County Disaster Airlift Response Team, or DART. This first start in our state began in 2017 and now has about 30 pilots and 15 ground support. During events like earthquakes, floods, and landslides, these trained dedicated pilots and ground crew, at their own expense, fly life-saving supplies throughout Clallam County. If bridges or roads are out after a disaster event, these flights may be the only way to access most areas in the county. The DART works with emergency management to save lives and is recognized by the state as the model for all DARTs in Washington. If you know a person or group you feel deserves this spotlight, email info@radio-pacific.com and we'll contact you. It's said that service is the rent we pay for our space on Earth. That's why we present this volunteer spotlight, sponsored by Jim Hagwood, Port Angeles Realty.
Hi, my name's Adam Birnbaum, and I'm running for state representative in the 24th Legislative District. Too many people in our community are struggling. We need less ideological extremism and more bipartisanship. My campaign is about working with everyone to build affordable housing, create well-paying jobs, and improve our healthcare system. Our district deserves a candidate who will focus on common sense solutions to the most important issues in our community. Learn more at electadambirnbaum.com.
Paid for by Elect Adam Birnbaum, Democrat.
For the Washington State News Network, I'm Lance Tormey. The premium for Washington paid family and medical leave is going up next year. Paid leave claims have outpaced premiums, and the legislature had to fund the program with $200 million earlier this year. Rates will increase slightly in 2025, meaning people making $50,000 annually will pay an additional $25 and their employer will pay an extra $65. With the weather getting colder, many folks will soon be busy gathering their winter supplies of firewood from the National Forest. Forest spokesperson Robin Mario says cutting permits allow wood to be taken from select areas of the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest.
Folks need to remember that the permits are valid through December 31st, but access may be the limiting factor, and you may not be able to access National Forest roads due to snow before that. So it's always a good idea to get out and get your winter supply of firewood before snows fall and close forest roads.
Woodcutters may obtain a maximum of 12 cords of wood per household per year and can use it for firewood manufacturing and other processing and are now allowed to resell it. Free personal use woodcutting permits are available at the Forest Service headquarters building in Wenatchee and all Ranger District offices throughout the area and the Washington State. And going to the gas station after some weekend driving, gas selling for an average of $4.05 according to AAA. For more on these and other stories, download the WSNN mobile app or visit WashingtonStateNews.net.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Expanding the war in Ukraine, North Korean troops joining Russia's fight, according to NATO. The alliance says some North Koreans have already deployed to Ukraine's Kursk region. And it appears that Russian forces have thwarted an attempt at another cross-border offensive by Ukraine.
The attempted incursion comes months after Kyiv staged a bold assault on its nuclear-armed enemy that Moscow is still struggling to halt. A Russian governor said what he described as an armed group tried to breach the border between Ukraine and Russia's Bryansk region. He did not clarify whether Ukrainian soldiers carried out the alleged attack, but claimed that the situation was stable and under control by the Russian military. There was no immediate acknowledgement or response from Ukrainian officials. I'm Karen Shamas.
With millions having already voted, the presidential candidates are working to win the hearts and minds of those who have yet to cast a ballot. Donald Trump rallying at New York's Madison Square Garden.
The rally attracted thousands of people both inside and outside the iconic arena as the former president took aim at his opponent.
On issue after issue, Kamala broke it, but I will fix it.
Trump also offered a new proposal, a tax credit for family caregivers. However, the event was not without controversy. Some of the program's speakers crudely insulted Harris, and one comedian described the American territory of Puerto Rico as a floating island of garbage. Greg Clugston, New York.
Democrat Harris telling her supporters there's too much at stake not to vote.
No one can sit on the sidelines.
A message that probably resonates with Trump supporters as well. On Wall Street this morning, ahead of the opening bell, stock futures are in positive territory. Dow futures up 175, and the Nasdaq futures ahead 153 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
You just grin and bear it or bite the bullet when it comes to everyday pain? Don't. Try Relief Factor, a drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, it's developed by doctors. In 3 weeks or less, you'll know whether it works for you like it works for me. Try Relief Factor for yourself. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Hey, it's Matt Walsh, podcaster, best-selling children's author, and world-renowned DEI consultant. My hit comedy and #1 grossing documentary of the decade, Am I Racist?, is now streaming exclusively on Daily Wire Plus. I went undercover into the world of DEI and got the elites of the establishment to say all the quiet parts out loud. The only way to watch Am I Racist is with a Daily Wire Plus membership. Head to dailywire.com/subscribe. Use code DEI for 35% off your new annual membership. Don't miss it. Am I Racist? Streaming now exclusively on Daily Wire Plus.
Pakistan launching a massive nationwide polio vaccination campaign after a spike in the number of cases this year.
Only a few years ago, Pakistan had hoped it could eradicate wild polio as case numbers dropped to 0 for 15 months between 2021 and 2022. Those have surged back, with the highest number in the southern province of Baluchistan. Polio vaccinators are often viewed with suspicion, particularly in rural areas of Pakistan, where some have spread misinformation that the vaccine is part of a Western conspiracy. Security convoys escorting health workers have been attacked in the past. Pakistan and Afghanistan are the only two countries in the world where wild polio is still endemic.
The BBC's Caroline Davies. At least 7 people killed in a building collapse in Nigeria's capital. Building collapses are becoming increasingly common in Nigeria, with more than a dozen such incidents reported in just the last 2 years. Townhall.com. One Polish radio station generates controversy after dismissing its journalists, replacing them with AI-generated voices.
Weeks after letting its journalists go, Off Radio Krakow announced it was relaunching with what it called the first experiment in Poland. The station said its 3 avatars are designed to reach younger listeners by speaking about cultural, art, and social issues. A journalist and film critic who until recently hosted a show on the radio station published an open letter protesting the replacement of employees with artificial intelligence.
Correspondent Jeremy House. The start of a commercial Dungeness crab season in California delayed for the 7th straight year to protect humpback whales from getting entangled in trap and buoy lines. The state says commercial crabbing will be delayed until at least the first day of December. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is the Peninsula's Morning News.
Good morning. Welcome to KONP Radio. It is Monday, October 28th, 6:37 in the morning. We hope you're having a great day so far. Here's a look at the news. In the early hours of October 25th, this last weekend, Clallam County Sheriff's Deputy Cody Brooks stopped a car on Highway 101 near Safeway. The driver, Corey Tyler Blake, 38, from Port Hadlock, was observed with a suspected drug smoking device. After consulting with the Olympic Peninsula Narcotics Enforcement Team, also known as OPNET, and obtaining a search warrant, deputies and a narcotics canine conducted a vehicle search, initially finding only marijuana. However, retracing Blake's route led to a backpack discarded along the road. Inside, authorities discovered 197.29 grams of suspected fentanyl pills in several packages and 140.72 grams of suspected methamphetamine in several packages. Blake was taken into custody for possession with intent to distribute. Blake has a lengthy criminal history. On April 1st of this year, criminal charges were filed in Clallam County Superior Court and an arrest warrant was issued to arrest Blake for burglary in the first degree with 2 firearm enhancements and robbery in the first degree with 2 firearm enhancements. These charges stemmed from an involvement in a Sequim home invasion on March of this year. Now with a look at the weekend wrap-up, here is our dear Sandy Keys.
Our English language is one of the world's most precise and expressive. And yet we still have people who must communicate by force. This past weekend started with an assault 9:23 Friday morning in Port Angeles at East 12th, and continued with the next call an hour and a half later to the same address for the same reason. The third assault was reported at 1:20 in Sequim, the fourth 10 minutes later in Sequim, the last assault in Sequim, 7:18 Saturday night. 4 other complaints involved threats, all 4 in Greater Port Angeles, and harassments. The weekend's first one near 5th and Pine, Port Angeles, the rest in Sequim on West Cedar, Salal Way, and South 3rd Avenue, all completed by 5:10 Saturday afternoon, leaving the rest of the weekend free for other activities. For example, somebody had time for a burglary, the weekend's only one, discovered and reported at 8:40 Saturday night from an East 12th Street address. And some thefts, a car theft at Joyce Piedmont Road Friday afternoon. The next 2, and the weekend's last, were reported at 4:38 and 6:55 Friday afternoon from East 1st and East 3rd, that last one from downtown Safeway store. Fire personnel rushed to reports of lines down along Robbins Road, Sequim, a smoke investigation at Laird's Road Saturday morning, plus several commercial and residential fire alarms in Greater Sequim and Port Angeles. Police and State Patrol investigated at least 8 vehicle accidents, most in Greater Port Angeles, but Sequim had one at 680 West Washington and added another to the growing number at the River Road and West Washington intersection. All the while, we here in Port Angeles seem to have been reducing the number of crashes at 101 and Colonel's Way, for example. Still, concerning traffic, law enforcers processed DUI violations in Port Angeles midday Friday on East 1st, another in Forks late Saturday night. Yet, they were able to squeeze in 21-plus traffic stops, 13 building checks, and 12 welfare checks. One of only a few weekend surprises was the weekend abandoned vehicle number. By midday Saturday, they had reports of 9 abandoned vehicles. All were found before noon Saturday, all but one in Port Angeles, the other in Forks. Sequim didn't even get an honorable mention. They had none, and that's just the way they like it. Sandy Keys, Radio Pacific Local News.
Thank you, Sandy. Sequim's own Pearl Peterson knocked it out of the park once again this weekend as she sang for a second time at the World Series. Peterson opened Game 2 of the Yankees versus Dodgers World Series on Saturday night with, if I may say so myself, one of the greatest renditions of our nation's anthem that I have ever heard. Peterson grew up in Sequim and was an 18-year-old Sequim High School senior when she performed last October for the first time at the World Series. A self-taught singer, Pearl Peterson was with the Boys and Girls Club for 11 years before moving on to university, where she is studying lyrical theater as she pursues a bachelor's degree in music arts. We're going to play the entire anthem on the Morning Scramble so you can hear the whole thing this morning at 8:30. But for now, here is her flawless ending. Pearl, we're just all so darn proud of you. Way to go, kiddo. All right, we'll be back with more after this.
Attention all moms-to-be. North Olympic Healthcare Network's board-certified physicians specializing in family medicine with obstetrics are here to guide and support you on your pregnancy journey. We provide personalized, compassionate care focused on building a long-lasting relationship before, during, and after pregnancy. From pre-pregnancy planning to childbirth to primary care for your whole family, we're with you for the journey. To learn more, visit nohn-pa.org/obstetrics.
I'm Steve Theringer, and it's been an honor to be your state representative, working with you to fund education, strengthening the healthcare system, making investments in our ports and parks, promoting new forest products. We need to improve access to healthcare, improve long-term care, protect our environment while growing our economy. By working together at the state and local level, we can build thriving communities to help our families flourish. I ask for your vote to continue working with you to make the Olympic Peninsula an even better place to live. Paid for by Theringer for State Representative, Democrat.
Hi, this is Mercedes from Foghorn Bistro. We're an ultra-premium olive oil and balsamic tasting room.
Hey, it's Johnny B. Don't forget our Washington wine and beer bar, our Philly Italian and turkey hoagies, and our cheesesteaks on select Philly Fridays.
And stop in to experience the variety of tastings as well as enjoying the cheese trays, soups, and salad we have to offer.
Find us where Oak Street meets the harbor. Come in to shop, dine with us, or grab and go. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 5.
And the Kraken go up 2-0. Brandon Tanev.
It's the return of Seattle Kraken hockey.
To another level.
Don't miss the season-long action right here on your home of the Kraken.
Catch the Kraken all season long here on Newsradio KONP. Kraken hockey on KONP made possible by Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales in Sequim.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. Chance of rain showers today, otherwise cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. Daytime highs approaching 53, westerly winds 8 to 15 miles an hour. Slight chance for showers tonight, lows level off around 41, partly cloudy skies. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times tomorrow. Chance of rain showers. Daytime highs approaching 51. Low 50s Wednesday. Upper 40s by Thursday. That's a look at your forecast, powered by weatherology.com. I'm Derek Height. Currently 48.
This is my favorite part about coming in and covering for Todd is the music that I inevitably play. All right, it's time to look at our community calendar this morning, brought to us by our friends at Angelus Electric. Volunteer Hospice of Clallam County is sponsoring a 5-week in-person grief support group starting today, going through November 25th, every Monday from 1 to 3 at Trinity United Methodist Church in Sequim. For more information or to register, you can call 360-452-1511. Peninsula Friends of Animals celebrates National Cat Day on Tuesday, October 29th from 11:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Yodelin, a new innovative restaurant located at 122 West Lordson Boulevard, also known as the former Togas building. Enjoy a delicious lunch or dinner and help support PFOA's mission of rescue and spay-neuter. A generous percentage of the day's proceeds will be donated for the care of the PFOA rescues. Peninsula Friends of Animals is a cageless, no-kill, donor-supported animal welfare organization. That is again tomorrow from 11:30 to 8 at Yodelin. The Story People of Clallam County and Field Hall present Headbone Rattles, Ghost Stories with Kim Whitecamp. That is happening the 29th from 7 to 9. If we're talking rock and roll, Tina Turner was a national treasure. Country has Dolly Parton, and in the world of storytelling, we have Kim Whitecamp. Steve Perry, Highway 89 Sirius XM storyteller. Kim Whitecamp has 10 award-winning albums, executive produced and or designed 32 albums for other performers, and has hosted an award-winning morning show for a tri-state radio network. You can check her out tomorrow at the Field Arts and Events Hall from 7 to 9.
Call a sign in the dead of the night. Oh, the sun gonna
The North Olympic Library System presents Humanities Washington speaker, author, and historian Amanda Van Lannen for her talk, Big Apples, Big Business, How Washington Became the Apple State. That's happening Tuesday, the 29th from 6:30 to 8. You can register in advance at knowles.org. Hear from our sponsors of the community calendar brought to us by Angelus Electric.
Hi, this is Ken Simpson from Angelus Electric. Since 1954, it's been our pleasure to serve the area with professional, expert electrical service. We're sponsoring the KONP Community Calendar because we know that one of the strengths of our community is the terrific work being done by our civic groups, churches, and nonprofit organizations. Please help them and contribute whenever you can and support these groups helping to make our community a better place.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Boeing has launched a nearly $19 billion capital raise by offering 90 million shares of common stock and $5 billion of depository shares. The airline is looking to raise money in an effort to avoid having its credit rating downgraded to junk. Boeing will need the money to maintain its investment-grade rating and fund its eventual recovery from the machinist strike that's now in its 7th week. Boeing stock has dropped by more than 40% this year. More details coming across the terminal on moves Volkswagen intends to make to cut costs. The struggling automaker will be closing at least 3 factories in Germany while also downsizing all remaining plants in Germany while looking to institute a 10% salary cut for all employees. VW has been dealing with declining demand in Europe and intense competition from China. Oil prices are falling after Israel did not attack Iran's crude facilities in its retaliatory strike last week. Prices overall tumbled around 5% to start the week and currently are down over $4.50 since Friday's close. I'm Dan Schwartzman, Bloomberg Radio.
It's time to check our traffic once again this morning, brought to us by Angelus Furniture and Leitz Farm Supply.
At Angelus Furniture, they know that price is important, but after your buy, service after the sale, that's an Angelus Furniture specialty.
Where we try to differentiate ourselves is through service, taking care of people. We go outside of warranties. We go the extra mile because we think that's a thing that establishes loyalty and people trust us, so they'll come back.
You can still find true customer service at Angelus Furniture, East 1st Street, Port Angeles.
LS Tractor. Do more for less. More standard features, more capacity, and more operator comfort. LS Tractor gives you more. A comprehensive warranty and more PTO horsepower. Do more on your farm, ranch, or acreage. Mow it, grade it, till it, or move it. Stop by your local participating dealer and join the growing LS Tractor family today.
Find the perfect LS Tractor for you at Leitz Farm Supply in Sequim. Locally owned and operated. Call Leitz at 360-452-1400.
LS Tractor. Simply more.
News Radio KONP, traffic and roads.
All right, let's head up to Clallam Transit once again this morning and check in with our friend Steve up there. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, we're still looking good out there traffic-wise. It's picked up a little bit out there. Downtown Port Angeles, Sequim area along Washington, a little bit more steady traffic right now making its way through town, but moving along at the speed limit. Just a lot of wet roads out there, so definitely want to be careful. Same thing on Highway 101. Light traffic, light to moderate traffic, and it is starting to pick up. But moving along at the speed limit. If you're headed out any further right now, Hood Canal Bridge good to go with no scheduled marine openings. State ferries look like they're running on time today, too, so we're in good shape out there. If you're headed out to the west end, 101, we're doing good all the way out to the Forks area. Rain showers pretty much most of the way, heavy in places, so be careful out there. But right now, just light traffic, starting to pick up a little bit out that way, but moving along pretty much at the speed limit all the way. So everybody take care. Enjoy your morning. This is Steve reporting live from Clallam Transit for KONP.
Thank you, Steve. Yes, it is, well, it's still dark out there, so I can't really tell you what it looks like outside of the KONP studios, but I can tell you that in Port Angeles, it's about 45 degrees. Sequim, 45, Forks, 46, and Nia Bay is having a heat wave at 50 degrees. Port Townsend coming in right at 46 degrees. We hope you're enjoying your Monday morning thus far. always like this song. This is my nickname from my mom.
Little Susie, wake up. We've both been sound asleep. Wake up, little Susie, and weep. The movie's over, it's 4 o'clock, and we're in trouble deep. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie. Well, what are we gonna tell your mama? What are we gonna tell your papa?
Well, a scientific survey now shows that men are not as empathetic to their female partner as she is to him. In fact, the scientists had trouble finding enough men who even cared enough to take the survey.
America Then and Now, a daily look at our unique heritage. In a moment, Liberty's dedication. More after this.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double hot, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Well, I do now.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
It's Monday, October 28th, 2024, and this is America Then and Now. On this day in 1886, the Statue of Liberty was officially dedicated in New York City. President Grover Cleveland led the morning parade winding through the streets of Manhattan, and as the parade moved past the New York Stock Exchange, traders threw ticker tape out the windows, giving birth to the traditional New York ticker tape parade. President Cleveland and other dignitaries then traveled by boat to Bedloe's Island for the dedication, and the statue's torch was lit for the very first time that night. The Statue of Liberty later fell under the jurisdiction of the War Department in 1901, became a national monument in 1924, then transferred to the National Park Service in 1933. And today is the birthday of Dr. Jonas Salk, born in New York City in 1914. In 1948, Salk began 7 years of research to develop a vaccine for polio. The vaccine success was announced in 1955, and many countries immediately began immunization programs. Jonas Salk's last years were spent researching a vaccine for AIDS. And that is America Then and Now. I'm Dusty Baker.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
What factors determine if someone is going to tell you the truth or tell you a lie? Well, a few things. For starters, who lies? Just about everyone. Of course, some people lie more than others. Where are people most likely to lie? In situations where you're not likely to come back with the receipts. In other words, you're more likely to lie face-to-face or on the phone as opposed to in a text message or an email that someone can pull up later. According to Christian B. Miller, author of Honesty, The Philosophy and Psychology of a Neglected Virtue, many lies occur in the heat of the moment. So when there's a delay in communication, like email, people tend to lie less often. People tell more everyday lies, like, hey, I love those cookies you made, to strangers. But when the stakes are higher, we lie more often to the people we love the most. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Mike Chapman has proudly served our community as an elected official since 2001. Before that, he was a law enforcement officer. We've seen extremist threats to abortion access, and Mike has never stood idly by when there's a threat. That's why he has always been 100% pro-choice as your state representative. Mike would be honored to continue standing up for our freedoms as our next state senator.
Paid for by Chapman for Senate, Democrat.
Hi, this is Tristan with Tri-State Roofing. We are celebrating the grand pre-opening in Sequim. We specialize in roofs, siding, gutters, patio covers, and doors. The best part? We got you covered with incredible financing. 0 down payment, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 18 months on approved credit. Experience the Tri-State way. We've got you covered 24/7. Call 253-ROOFING or tristate.pro.
Tri-State Roofing, we got you covered.
Thank God for the radio. When I'm on the road, when I'm far from home, I'm feeling blue. Thank God for the radio.
Online at myclallamcounty.com. News Radio KONP, Port Angeles, Squim, a Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Getting close to Election Day, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump headlining rallies over the weekend. Trump returning to New York City for a rally at Madison Square Garden. ABC's Rachel Scott has more on those who appeared on stage with him.
Several speakers making sexist, profane, and racist comments. One calling Vice President Kamala Harris the devil and the Antichrist. Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe comparing Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory.
There's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Senator Rick Scott of Florida, which is home to over 1 million Puerto Ricans, writing, "It's not funny and it's not true." Congresswoman Maria Elvira Salazar insisting this rhetoric does not reflect GOP values.
ABC's Mary Bruce has more on one of those who was on stage with Kamala Harris in Philadelphia.
Harris joined by Michelle Obama.
We expect her to be intelligent and articulate, to have a clear set of policies, to never show too much anger.
Arguing Harris faces an impossible double standard compared to Trump.
Instead, too many people are willing to write off his childish, mean-spirited antics by saying, well, Trump's just being Trump.
And she ripped into Trump's record, from mismanaging the pandemic response to fanning conspiracy theories.
The election 8 days away. Nearly 42 million Americans have already voted. NATO has confirmed that North Korean soldiers are now in Russia. They were sent there to help in Russia's nearly 3-year war against Ukraine. Israel's military says it has detained at least 100 suspected Hamas militants in a raid on a hospital in northern Gaza over the weekend. McDonald's says it has ruled out beef patties as the source of the E. coli outbreak tied to its Quarter Pounders. So Quarter Pounders are back on the menu at restaurants where they were taken off. The onions could be the culprit. The Dow is up 303 points. You're listening to ABC News.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
The jury in the trial of the man charged with killing 2 young girls in Delphi, Indiana, is now being allowed to hear tapes of his police interrogation.
The man accused in the brutal Delphi, Indiana murders, in his own words, Richard Allen's defense team now requesting the jury hear tapes from 2 interrogations. Allen is on trial for allegedly killing 13-year-old Abby Williams and 14-year-old Libby German in 2017. He has pled not guilty.
That's ABC's Eva Pilgrim. Boeing in a cash crunch amid a strike that is now in its 7th week, looking to raise billions. The company says it will offer millions of shares of stock in an effort to bring in about $19 billion. It's a potentially dangerous problem, shining lasers at aircraft. ABC's Jim Ryan says it's happening a lot.
The reports come from pilots of small planes.
Yeah, we're getting a green laser right now.
Commercial jetliners.
We just encountered a laser 3 miles.
Even military aircraft.
Green laser.
Green laser, okay.
The audio from liveatc.net. Houston Sheriff's helicopter pilot David Wren says,
if they're in takeoff, landing, or coming in for an approach, and they have no reference to the ground, they could crash.
So far this year, 9,000 laser strikes have been reported to the FAA. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
And the World Series returns to the Bronx tonight, down 2-0. The Yankees will host the LA Dodgers. Superstar Shohei Ohtani is expected to play for Los Angeles after hurting his arm in Game 2. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Meet Brian. He just got $5,000, and it was pretty easy. I'll tell you how in 10 seconds. Brian needed cash help. After being rejected by banks, he tried 27cash.com. Told them how much he needed, even let them know he had bad credit. In minutes, 27cash.com found a lender who deposited $5,000 into his bank account the very next day. If you need cash help, even if you have bad credit, go to 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
This is the Peninsula's Morning News.
Welcome, welcome. It is Monday morning, October 28th, 7 o'clock in the morning. It's the last Monday of October. I'm Amanda Bacon, filling in for Todd Ortloff this week. And here's what's making news. In the early hours of October 25th, Clallam County Sheriff's Deputy Cody Brooks stopped a car on Highway 101 near Safeway. The driver, Corey Tyler Blake, 38, from Port Hadlock, was observed with a suspected drug smoking device. After consulting with the Olympic Peninsula Narcotics Enforcement Team, also known as OPNET, and obtaining a search warrant, deputies and a narcotics canine conducted a vehicle search, initially finding only marijuana. However, retracing Blake's route led back to a backpack discarded along the road. Inside, authorities discovered 197.29 grams of suspected fentanyl pills in several packages and 140.72 grams of suspected methamphetamine in several packages. Blake was taken into custody for possession with intent to distribute. Blake has a lengthy criminal history. In April of this year, criminal charges were filed in Clallam County Superior Court, and an arrest warrant was issued to arrest Blake for burglary first degree with 2 firearm enhancements and robbery first degree with 2 firearm enhancements. These charges stemmed from his involvement in a Sequim home invasion in March. Now for a look at the weekend wrap-up, here's our own Sandy Keys.
Our English language is one of the world's most precise and expressive, and yet we still have people who must communicate by force. This past weekend started with an assault, 9:23 Friday morning in Port Angeles at East 12th, and continued with the next call an hour and a half later to the same address for the same reason. The third assault was reported at 1:20 in Sequim, the fourth 10 minutes later in Sequim, the last assault in Sequim, 7:18 Saturday night. 4 other complaints involved threats, all 4 in Greater Port Angeles, and harassments. The weekend's first one near 5th and Pine, Port Angeles, the rest in Sequim on West Cedar, Salal Way, and South 3rd Avenue, all completed by 5:10 Saturday afternoon, leaving the rest of the weekend free for other activities. For example, somebody had time for a burglary, the weekend's only one, discovered and reported at 8:40 Saturday night from an East 12th Street address. And some thefts, a car theft at Joyce Piedmont Road Friday afternoon. The next 2, and the weekend's last, were reported at 4:38 and 6:55 Friday afternoon from East 1st and East 3rd, that last one from downtown Safeway store. Fire personnel rushed to reports of lines down along Robbins Road, Sequim, a smoke investigation at Laird's Road Saturday morning, plus several commercial and residential fire alarms in Greater Sequim and Port Angeles. Police and State Patrol investigated at least 8 vehicle accidents, most in Greater Port Angeles, but Sequim had one at 680 West Washington and added another to the growing number at the River Road and West Washington intersection. All the while, we here in Port Angeles seem to have been reducing the number of crashes at 101 and Colonel's Way, for example. Still, concerning traffic, law enforcers processed DUI violations in Port Angeles midday Friday on East 1st, another in Forks late Saturday night. Yet, they were able to squeeze in 21-plus traffic stops, 13 building checks, and 12 welfare checks. One of only a few weekend surprises was the weekend abandoned vehicle number. By midday Saturday, they had reports of 9 abandoned vehicles. All were found before noon Saturday, all but one in Port Angeles, the other in Forks. Sequim didn't even get an honorable mention. They had none. and that's just the way they like it. Sandy Keys, Radio Pacific Local News.
Thank you, Sandy. We'll be back with more news right after this.
At Tranco Transmissions, they know how to keep you on the road this season.
The biggest influx that we get during the fall and winter is four-wheel drive complaints. When it comes to, we get icy snow on the roads or anything like that, then they realize that when it's too late that they can't get up that hill or they can't get out their driveway or they're stuck in a ditch and the front wheels aren't turning anymore. It's good to check it now.
Get to Tranco Transmissions today. Call 360-457-3388 to schedule your appointment.
Hey, it's Hannah from Brown's Outdoor. The fall chill is in the air, and that means Brown's is stacked up with warm layers for all your outdoor activities. Speaking of fall colors, come in and see the new sweaters from Toad & Co., Cavu, Smartwool, and Royal Robbins. Also, for the month of October, buy any 3 Smartwool socks and get the 4th pair free. If a new sleeping bag is on your list, pick from the North Face, Marmot, or Big Agnes. At Brown's, we'll keep you warm from head to toe this chilly season. Brown's Outdoor has been family-owned and outfitting the Olympic Peninsula for, forever.
Did you know there's a PUD commissioner vote coming up?
I don't even know what the PUD does.
The Public Utility District provides electricity for everyone in Clallam County, unless you're in the city of Port Angeles. Long droughts are affecting energy and water, even with Bonneville. We need folks on the commission who can look around the corner to see what's coming, so we're prepared. Phyllis Bernard has experience getting big things done for the people.
So I should be voting for Phyllis Bernard too, right?
Right.
I'm Commissioner Phyllis Bernard, and I approve this message, paid for by the committee to elect Phyllis Bernard.
In other news, the 2024 general election is just a week and a day away. According to the Washington Secretary of State website, 30.83% of Clallam County ballots have been returned, equaling 18,069 ballots, with 0.81% of them, or 146 ballots, being challenged. How does that stack up against the rest of Washington? As of Friday afternoon, Washington State shows a 22.55% return rate of the almost 5 million registered voters, with 0.92% of those ballots being challenged, or 10,321. We'll keep you updated all week as to the ballot count, only if I can say it, as it continues to grow. Squim's own Pearl Peterson absolutely knocked it out of the park once again this weekend as she sang for a second time at the World Series. Peterson opened Game 2 of the Yankees versus Dodgers World Series on Saturday night with, if I may say so myself, one of the greatest renditions of our nation's anthem that I have ever heard. Peterson grew up in Sequim and was an 18-year-old Sequim High School senior when she performed last October at the World Series for the first time. A self-taught singer, Pearl Peterson was with the Boys and Girls Club for 11 years before moving on to university, where she is studying lyrical theater as she pursues a bachelor's degree in music. Now, we're going to play the entire anthem on the morning scramble this morning at 8:30, but for now, here is her flawless ending. Sheer perfection. Pearl, we're all so proud of you. In local sports, not quite the World Series, the Rough Riders swim team will send 10 of their swimmers to the district meet November 18th and 19th at Mount Tahoma High School. Brooke St. Louis, Lizzie Shaw, Amaya Nelson, Danica Esergizan, Lindsay Reed, Damon Sierra, Emerson Dubois, Lucy Townsend, Chloe K. Sanders, and Mia Francis all qualified for district. Lindsay Reed placed first in diving and the 200 intermediate. Damon Sierra placed first in the 100 butterfly. Emerson Dubois placed second in the 500 freestyle, and Chloe K. Sanders placed third in the 100 breaststroke. In soccer action, the Sequim Wolves went on the road to 8th-ranked North Kitsap and again lost a heartbreaker 2-1. Kylie Winters scored the goal for the Wolves with an assist from Harper Moore. Wolves goalie Callie Moore made 10 saves. The Squim Wolves football team can clinch a district playoff spot with a win over North Mason Thursday night in a game you're going to hear right here on News Radio KONP. North Mason lost to Olympic 51-0 last Friday night. Speaking of Olympic, the Port Angeles Rough Riders will finish their season at home Friday night against a very big and very talented Olympic Trojan team. You can hear that game here on News Radio KONP.
Trailers, trailers, and more trailers. Whether work or play, a durable, lightweight trailer is a must. Stories Trailer Sales has a full lineup from Alcom, like Stealth Cargo Trailers. These all-aluminum, lightweight, but durable trailers are suitable for any cargo type. Equipment, toys, tools. If you can name it, you can haul it with Stealth. Find trailers, trailers, and more trailers at Stories Trailer Sales. Go to StoriesServiceStation.com. That's STOREYS ServiceStation.com.
When I was a kid, I always looked forward to harvest time every year for fresh apples and delicious cider. This is Dale from Wilder Auto, and I would like to invite you to come harvest a great selection of end-of-year super specials. The time is right for great savings, and with over 100 lenders, hefty rebates and lease incentives, and some of the best brands on the planet, why would you go anywhere else? For best selection, stop by today or 24/7 at wilderauto.com.
It's National Karastan Month at McCrory Carpet One. When you choose Karastan flooring, you choose timeless pieces that fit perfectly within your home, flawlessly crafted for long-lasting beauty. And when you pair Karastan with expert installation from McCrory Carpet One, you have flooring that stands the test of time. During Karastan Month, you'll find the biggest Karastan savings of the year, with prices starting at just $2.99 a square foot for carpet and $4.99 a square foot for LVP. National Karastan Month at McCrory Carpet One, going on now.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by Olympic Game Farm. Chance for showers today, otherwise cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. Daytime highs approaching 53, winds out of the west 8 to 15 miles an hour. Slight chance of rain showers tonight, lows level off around 41, partly cloudy skies. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times tomorrow, chance of rain showers, daytime highs approaching 51. Isolated rain showers likely Wednesday and Thursday, 51 Wednesday, 49 Thursday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Derek Height. Right now, 48.
Prayers answered. Good morning, I'm Jay Reynolds. The Bears scoring in Washington with 25 seconds to go yesterday. They take a 3-point lead. Washington needs a touchdown.
Daniels backing up. He's just going to have to let one fly. Steps up, fires, heads towards the end zone. It is...
Launches into the area of the end zone, tipped, and it's caught by Noah Brown. He was the tip man, and this place is now gone into bedlam mode. Washington with the miracle finish.
They are deflated in Chicago, ESPN 1000, after the elation from Big 100 in Washington. Commanders winning it on the Hail Mary. Niners hold off the Cowboys and win by a touchdown. Eagles go to 5-2 with their win over Cincinnati. Lions pounce on the Titans and win by 38. Detroit goes to 6-1. Chiefs are the lone remaining unbeaten in the NFL. They go to 7-0 with a 7-point win over the Raiders. Tua returns to the Dolphins, but they lose to Arizona on a last-second field goal. Packers get a last-second field goal and beat the Jaguars. Jets lose to the Patriots. 5th consecutive loss for the Jets. Browns stun the Ravens 29-24. Kirk Cousins, 4 touchdowns. Falcons sweep the season series from the Bucs. Chargers beat the Saints 26-8. Broncos go to 5-3 with a win over the Panthers. Bills top the Seahawks by 3 touchdowns. Their 4th win by at least 21 points this season. NBA Warriors lose to the Clippers, and Golden State loses Steph Curry to a rolled ankle in the 4th quarter. Tyrese Maxey, 45 points. Sixers beat the Pacers in overtime. Blazers get past the Pelicans. They avoid going to 0-3 again. Nets beat the Bucks for their first win of the season. Despite a partially dislocated left shoulder, Shohei Ohtani is set to play for the Dodgers in Game 3 of the World Series at Yankee Stadium tonight. The game is available on ESPN Radio.
This is Ed from Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales. Our family has trucked hay to feed the hungry animals in Western Washington for 4 generations. In that time, we have built a growing legacy of serving the needs of our customers, and we've never stopped. In 2014, we ventured into the equipment world by becoming a dealer and service provider for Mahindra tractors. Since then, we have partnered with quality brands such as Bad Boy, Aaron's Gravely, LS Tractor, Husqvarna, Snake River Trailers, and now Wacker Neuson Construction Equipment. We have a 3-base shop where we not only service the brands we sell, but we also work on most major brands including Kubota, John Deere, and New Holland. We carry a wide variety of parts, filters, belts, and fluids. We have a fully stocked hydraulic shop and can build hoses for most machines while you wait. Chainsaw or weed eater needs some TLC, we work on small engines too. We even offer welding and fabrication services. We have been earning the Peninsula's trust for over 25 years with your animal's care. We look forward to earning your trust with your equipment's care too.
News Radio KONP Business.
This is the Bloomberg Money Minute. McDonald's says Quarter Pounders will return to menus at all restaurants this week after ruling out beef patties as the source of the E. coli outbreak last week. The infections appear to stem from the slivered onion served on top of the sandwich. Delta is suing cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike over the software update that disabled millions of computers and grounded much of the airline's fleet in July. Delta says the incident cost the airline at least $500 million in out-of-pocket losses. Target's adding to the number of retailers charging less for its Thanksgiving meal this year. The company says you can get everything you need to feed 4 people for $20, $5 less than last year. Target notes that turkey prices are down 20% this year. Stocks are higher out of the gate, the Dow rising 315 points. On Friday, the October jobs report is out. Apple, Google parent Alphabet, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon all report quarterly earnings results throughout the coming week. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Time to look at our traffic once again this morning, brought to us this time by our friends at High Tech Electric and OMC.
Property crime has increased by 12% since 2020. Our state ranks second worst in the U.S. High-Tech Security in Port Angeles is here to help with a new security system and 24-hour surveillance. High-Tech also installs commercial fire alarms. And with one fire reported every 20 minutes, you can never be too safe. Call today and find out more about $29.99 monthly home burglar alarm monitoring. 452-2727. High-Tech Security since 1983.
Have you found yourself speeding to the next rest stop? If your bladder can't wait, it may be time to see a urologist. Urology is back at Olympic Medical Center. Whether you're dealing with prostate problems or incontinence, a referral to OMC's urologist could be just what you're looking for. Our new urology team is accepting appointments starting this fall. Learn more today at olympicmedical.org/urology.
News Radio KONP, Traffic and Roads.
All right, let's head up to Clallam Transit and check in with our buddy Steve, see what's going on. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, we're still doing pretty good out there traffic-wise, both Port Angeles and Sequim. Things moving along pretty well out there. A lot of rain coming down right now, so definitely want to be careful out there. But what traffic there is seems to be moving along pretty well. Prepared downtown Port Angeles looks like there's getting set up to do a little road work with our traffic signals through the downtown Port Angeles area, so be aware of that. Be careful as you make your way through those construction areas. Also, some construction going on Highway 101 out by Shore Road. So definitely want to be careful and kind of slow her down in those work areas. If you're headed beyond that, Hood Canal Bridge, good to go with no scheduled marine openings. And right now, state ferries are running on time. If you're headed out to the west end, 101, it's in good shape all the way out to the Forks area. Right now, just light to moderate traffic. A lot of rain coming down in places out there, so definitely want to slow her down. But traffic is moving pretty smooth out there. So everybody take care and be safe out there this morning. This is Steve reporting live from Clallam Transit for KONP.
Thank you, Steve. All right, it's the time of the morning where I get to give away a prize. Yay! All right. Okay, my phone's ready. It is brought to us this morning by Callus Insurance. When we come back after the commercial break, if you or anyone in your home has not won from us in the last 60 days, then you can give me a call at 360-457-1450 and answer my question. And if you get it right, you will win a Laurel Lanes gift certificate. Laurel Lanes is good for 2 hours of bowling on one lane for up to 6 people. and a pepperoni or Hawaiian pizza. It's a $50 value. So make sure that if you don't win, you still go up and check them out. Again, if you or anyone in your house has won any of our contests in our last 60 days, you are ineligible. But when we come back, I'm going to ask you a question. Hopefully you get it.
This is Andy Callis from Callis Insurance. Have you found yourself wondering if you have the right insurance coverage to protect your family, your home, or your vehicles? With Callis Insurance as your local trusted insurance agency, you get more choices with less hassle. You can be assured that you have the coverage you need for the price that fits your budget. Give our office a call today at 360-452-2314 or visit us at 802 East 1st Street in Port Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
All right, the number to call is 360-670-92. Nope, that is not the number to call. Good gravy, I need more coffee. 360-457-1450 is the number that you're going to want to call. If you or anyone in your household has won in the last 60 days, you are ineligible. And again, we are playing for a Laurel Lanes certificate. Here's the question. 60% of women want a man who will do what in public? 60% of women want a man who will do what in public? 360-457-1450. Hotcakes.
Display of affection.
Give me one specific display.
Kiss.
Oh, man, you're good. That was a really good guess. How did you get that so quickly? Has someone nagged you about that in the past? Hello? Did I offend you? Really? Hotcakes.
Old hands.
No, the last person got it right, but they hung up.
That was me.
Oh, you got it. You hung up, but I was asking you a question.
I was trying again.
No, you were correct. It is kiss. I was wondering how you got it so quick. I didn't know if someone had griped at you for that.
Nope, just good shot in the dark.
Nice. Who is this?
Brian Greenstreet.
Hi, Brian. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. All right. Well, come on down and pick up your Laurel Lanes gift certificate, and then you can take somebody there and do all sorts of public displays of affection by the lanes.
Thank you so much.
Take care, Brian.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, 60% of women want a man who will kiss them in public. Don't we all just want to be loved? Thanks for tuning into the morning show here on KONP. I'm Amanda Bacon, filling in for Todd Ortloff this week. So stick around. We've got lots more coming up. The Morning Scramble's coming up at 8:30, where you're going to be able to hear the entire rendition of the insanely incredible and beautiful and talented and amazing and humble Pearl Peterson, her rendition of the national anthem that she sang at the Game 2 of the World Series. Stick around. We've got lots more.
You think of voting when October rolls around? This is Dale from Wilder Auto, and we want your vote when it comes to your full-service auto dealer. We've got great brands, factory-certified service, and the Wilder Advantage. Our pledge to you is our promise to earn your business on your next vehicle purchase or the next time you need your car serviced. So why would you go anywhere else? Come check us out or 24/7 at wilderauto.com.
Mike Chapman has proudly served our community as an elected official since 2001. Before that, he was a law enforcement officer. We've seen extremist threats to abortion access, and Mike has never stood idly by when there's a threat. That's why he has always been 100% pro-choice as your state representative. Mike would be honored to continue standing up for our freedoms as our next state senator.
Paid for by Chapman for Senate, Democrat.
When purchasing a home or land, nobody wants to inherit existing debts or legal issues that could interfere with their property rights in the future. That's why it's important to work with a local title insurance professional and protect your property rights with Owner's Title Insurance. Olympic Peninsula Title has been protecting the property rights of Clallam County customers for over 40 years. Put our team of professionals to work for you. For title insurance and escrow services, opt for Olympic Peninsula Title.
Howdy folks, I'm Ken Simpson and I'm running for Clallam County PUD Commissioner. As a longtime local electrical contractor, I know what it takes to provide great service to my customers. As your PUD Commissioner, I'll work to make sure you continue to receive the best possible service and affordable power that you're used to. I appreciate your vote.
This ad paid for by Ken Simpson for PUD Commissioner.
For the Washington State News Network, I'm Lance Tormey. The CDC has confirmed 2 human cases of bird flu in Franklin County after an outbreak on a poultry farm. The affected workers were exposed to infected birds but did not require hospitalization. The outbreak resulted in the euthanasia of some 800,000 birds. The CDC considers the public risk low but advises anyone with flu-like symptoms to seek help as it is not confirmed if avian flu is transferable through humans. With the weather getting colder, many folks soon will be busy gathering their winter supplies of firewood from the National Forest. Forest spokesperson Robin DeMario says cutting permits allow wood to be taken from select areas of the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest.
Folks need to remember that the permits are valid through December 31st, but access may be the limiting factor, and you may not be able to access National Forest roads due to snow before that. So it's always a good idea to get out and get your winter supply of firewood before snows fall and close forest roads.
Woodcutters may obtain a maximum of 12 cords of wood per household per year and can use it for firewood, manufacturing, or other processing, but are not allowed to resell it. Free personal use woodcutting permits are available at the Forest Service Headquarters building in Wenatchee and all Ranger District offices throughout the area and throughout the state of Washington. Gas selling for an average of $4.05 in Washington State today. For more on these and other stories, download the WSNN mobile app or visit WashingtonStateNews.net.
Out here, in the middle of all these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. And sometimes, that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Stress builds up, you have trouble sleeping, maybe your mind is racing and you just don't feel like yourself. So what do? We get help. Lots of people are struggling with their mental health. It's more common than you think. The good news is, there are people in our community who are here for us when times are tough. Sometimes, just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world, so we don't feel so alone. One thing you can do is visit loveyourmindtoday.org for simple steps you can take to find the right solution for you. Whether it's hearing stories about what other people are going through, or finding the resources we need to navigate the stresses in our lives. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Former President Trump says his latest rally was a sort of homecoming.
And I just want to say a very big hello to a special place, New York, and to an incredible arena, Madison Square Garden. Incredible.
Tickets on a first-come, first-served basis handed out within minutes. The NYPD estimates 75,000 people lined up outside the venue, seating for 20,000 inside. Our White House correspondent Greg Clugston in New York City.
The famous arena was full hours before Trump took the stage, and thousands of people were turned away when the garden reached capacity. Outside, the sidewalks are overflowing with Trump supporters in red Make America Great Again hats and vendors selling all kinds of merchandise. There's a heavy security presence here with several streets blocked off in Midtown Manhattan. Greg Clugston, New York.
And Mr. Trump's Democrat challenger stumped in Philadelphia. Kamala Harris sounding upbeat.
Philadelphia is a very important part of our path to victory.
and it is the reason I'm spending time here, have been spending time here. But I'm feeling very optimistic about the enthusiasm that is here and the commitment that folks of every background have to vote and to really invest in the future of our country.
Confirming what the U.S. reported earlier, NATO now says North Korean troops have joined their Russian allies fighting in Ukraine. The North Koreans said to be on the ground in the Kursk region of Ukraine. The president of Egypt says his country is proposing a 2-day Israel-Hamas ceasefire. Negotiations now resuming in Qatar. Rally underway this morning on Wall Street. The Dow is up 275 points. The Nasdaq Composite Index ahead 106 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey folks, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back. But what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at the Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PREPARE to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantage status. So text PREPARE to 989898. That's PREPARE to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba's ruling coalition, led by the Liberal Democratic Party, has lost a majority in Japan's lower house of parliament in a key election over the weekend. The BBC Shaima Halil in Tokyo says really comes as no surprise.
The LDP are desperate to recalibrate. They are desperate to reinvent their image and convince the public that they are changed. But from what I've heard, people are furious. They say we have to deal with inflation, we have to deal with rising prices, and they are being investigated, and not properly as well, for financial scandals and financial corruption. So there is an anger among people, and I cannot overstate how unusual it is that the LDP finds itself in this unpredictable position and a tight race.
Voters in Liechtenstein approving withdrawing state funding from the tiny country's public radio broadcaster. 55.4% of participants voting to scrap funding for Radio Liechtenstein. News and analysis at townhall.com. It has been dubbed the Great, that's Grate, cheese heist.
Thieves with a nose for fine cheese have pulled off a massive cheddar ripoff in London. Neil's Yard Dairy said a con artist posing as a wholesale distributor for a major French retailer had taken off with around 48,000 pounds of award-winning cheddar. They then realized they had been scammed and reported the theft. The cheese is worth $390,000. The distributor, wholesaler, and retailer of British artisanal cheese said that the high value of the cheeses made them a tasty target for the thieves. Detectives at Scotland Yard and international authorities are searching for the culprits. Rika Ann Garcia, London.
McDonald's says testing has ruled out beef patties as a source of the E. coli outbreak linked to quarter pounders. Onion slivers from one supplier now thought to be the culprit. More on these stories, townhall.com.
This is the Peninsula's Morning News.
Good morning. You're listening to News Radio KONP, Port Angeles Squim. I'm Amanda Bacon, filling in for Todd Ortloff. It is Monday, October 28th, and here's what's making news. In the early hours of October 25th, Clallam County Sheriff's Deputy Cody Brooks stopped a car on Highway 101 near Safeway. The driver, Corey Tyler Blake, 38, from Port Hadlock, was observed with a suspected drug smoking device. After consulting with the OpNet team and obtaining a search warrant, deputies and a narcotics canine conducted a vehicle search, initially finding only marijuana. However, retracing Blake's route led to a backpack discarded along the road. Inside, authorities discovered 197.29 grams of suspected fentanyl pills in several packages and 140.72 grams of suspected methamphetamine in several packages. Blake was taken into custody for possession with intent to distribute. Blake has a lengthy criminal history. On April of this year, criminal charges were filed in Clallam County Superior Court. And an arrest warrant was issued to arrest Blake for burglary first degree with 2 firearm enhancements and robbery first degree with 2 firearm enhancements. These charges stemmed from his involvement in a Sequim home invasion in March. The 2024 general election is just a week and a day away. According to the Washington Secretary of State website, 30.83% of Clallam County ballots have been returned, equaling 18,069 ballots, with 0.81% of them, or 146 ballots, being challenged. How does that stack up against the rest of Washington? As of Friday afternoon, Washington State shows a 22.55% return rate of the almost 5 million registered voters, with 0.92% of those ballots being challenged, or 10,321. Sequim's own Pearl Peterson knocked it out of the park once again this weekend as she sang for a second time at the World Series. Peterson opened Game 2 of the Yankees versus Dodgers World Series on Saturday night with, if I may say so myself, one of the greatest renditions of our nation's anthem that I have ever heard. Peterson grew up in Sequim and was an 18-year-old Sequim High School senior when she performed last October for the first time at the World Series. A self-taught singer, Pearl Peterson was with the Boys and Girls Clubs for 11 years before moving on to university, where she's studying lyrical theater as she pursues a bachelor's degree in music arts. We're going to play the entire anthem on the Morning Scramble at 8:30 this morning, so stick around for that. But for now, here is Pearl's flawless ending to our nation's anthem. Pearl, you're amazing. We're all so proud of you here back home. Remember us when you're wildly successful and famous. We'll be back with more after this.
Got an old electrical panel? It could be a ticking time bomb. If your home was built before the 60s or your breaker box was installed in the 80s, it's probably time for an upgrade. Outdated wiring? Yikes! Call Meyer Electric now. For over 13 years, Meyer Electric has been serving the entire peninsula from Port Townsend to Forks and been repeatedly voted the best in Clallam County. Your home should spark joy, not actually spark. Meyer Electric, keeping your home shock-free. Call 582-7999.
There's no doubt about it. Fall has fell. Hey everybody, it's Dale from Wilder Auto, and now is a great time to start thinking about a new or used 4x4 or all-wheel drive car, truck, SUV, or minivan for when our weather turns gnarly. We've got the biggest selection of those vehicles on the peninsula, and with the hefty rebates and amazing lease and finance options, plus the Wilder Advantage, why would you go anywhere else? Stop by and check us out today or 24/7 at wilderauto.com.
Here's why voting yes on both the upcoming school levy and bond measures is easy. Is the levy a new tax? No, it's the normal renewal of one we already pay. Port Angeles supports our schools and has renewed the levy since the 60s. The levy is critical. It pays for nearly all music, all sports, most paraeducators, counselors, and important school operations. Strong schools without extra taxes? Sounds like a no-brainer. Paid for by Port Angeles Citizens for Education.
This is a true, sad story for ADT, the leader in home security systems. My favorite dog, Oliver, was stolen from our garage recently. If I had a camera system installed in my home from ADT, I would have known exactly what car possibly pulled up in my driveway and stole my little friend. If I had a security system from ADT, my dog would still be here. I called ADT this weekend, and they're coming out in a few days to install a camera and a new security system. Unfortunately, it's a little too late for me. Listen, protect everyone you love in your family. Call ADT now. Have them come out and give you a quote to install a full security system in your home. Don't let it be too late for you. Call right now.
Paid for by the Home Security Hotline. 800-561-6198.
800-561-6198. 800-561-6198. That's 800-561-6198.
Projects piling up? See Brim Tractor in Carlsberg. Get as low as 0% financing for 84 months on Bobcat compact tractors. How about a Bobcat zero-turn mower? Finance it for as low as 0% for 48 months. Or get rebates up to $900 in lieu of financing on select models. Visit Brim Tractor, Highway 101 in Carlsberg, or online at brimmachinery.com. Some exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by Olympic Game Farm. Chance for showers today, otherwise cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. Daytime highs approaching 53, winds out of the west, 8 to 15 miles an hour. Slight chance of rain showers tonight, lows level off around 41, partly cloudy skies. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times tomorrow, chance of rain showers, daytime highs approaching 51. Isolated rain showers likely Wednesday and Thursday, 51 Wednesday, 49 Thursday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Derek Height. Right now, 48.
Monday morning, you sure look fine. Friday, I got traveling on my mind. First you love me, then you fade away. I can't go on believing this way. I got nothing but love for you.
I've got nothing but love for you all. Welcome back to News Radio KONP, Port Angeles Squim. I'm Amanda Bacon, filling in for Todd Ortloff this week. It's the week of Halloween, and I would love to hear from you what you're going to be for Halloween this year. You can give us a text at 360-457-1450. Let me know what you're going to be dressing up as. I actually did something really fun. If you ask Siri what you should be for Halloween, she will give you an idea. And I gotta tell you, mine was brilliant. I'm not telling you what it is, but I think I might just do it while I'm on air, or in studio, I should say, on Halloween. So if you're struggling trying to figure out what you're gonna wear this year, or you just don't want to put much effort into it, ask Siri what you should be for Halloween. It's kind of fun. Well, I don't know about you, but this next story made me hungry when I read it, so I figured I'm going to share the wealth with you. A study suggests that red meat is unhealthy. I want to know more about this study, because that's just the only information that was given to me. I mean, are you eating 17 pounds of red meat in one sitting, or is it in general? Because red meat has iron in it, and us women, we need all of the iron that we can get. Students who focus on music and drama have a better aptitude for math and reading. I think my parents might disagree with that. The Department of Education looked at 25,000 math scores and found that students who were deeply involved with any type of musical instrument did much better than students who were not. Students involved in drama did better in reading. That makes sense. Drama students were also less likely to tolerate racism. Music helps the brain think fluidly and mathematically. Drama may help students learn empathy for others.
Steve Theringer is honored to be your state representative, working with you to fund education, strengthen our healthcare system, making investments in our ports and parks, and promoting new forest products. We need to improve access to healthcare, improve long-term care, and protect our environment while growing our economy. By working together at the state and local level, we can build thriving communities to help our families flourish. Please vote Steve Theringer so we may continue working together to make the Olympic Peninsula an even better place to live.
Paid for by Theringer for State Representative Democrat.
It's football season. Many of us watch from home or listen from the car. You'll want those snacks on hand when the hunger strikes. Mount Pleasant IGS is your Seahawks snack headquarters with hot, fresh deli food like Drake's Take and Bake Pizza, egg rolls, corn dogs, and burritos, just to name a few. You'll be able to get through the game and maybe even skip cooking dinner. Grab an ice cold beverage or even something of the adult variety to finish off the quarter. Mount Pleasant IGS, your neighborhood country store since 1959.
I'm Ken Simpson, and I'm asking for your vote for Clallam County PUD Commissioner. As a lifetime resident of Clallam County and the Evergreen State, I'm concerned that the water that we've always counted on might not be there in the years to come. I'm prepared to represent you in making the decisions necessary to ensure that water flows when you open the faucet. Thank you, and I appreciate your vote.
This ad paid for by Ken Simpson for PUD Commissioner.
Hi, this is Brandon Johnson, General Manager of Price Ford in Port Angeles. It's fall, and that means the leaves are falling, just like the prices on our new Fords.
It's also World Series time, and boy, do we have the bases covered.
Yes, we do. Huge discounts, low interest rates, and a fantastic selection. We're parking them in the lower lot. They need to go.
What kind of discounts?
$5,000 off Bronco Sports, $6,200 off F-150s, $7,600 on Super Duties, $8,300 off Broncos, and $15,000 off E-Transits. Now's the time to buy.
Visit us at priceford.com.
Newsradio KONP Business.
This look at our Bloomberg Money Minute brought to us by our friends at Edward Jones, Susie Sanders.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Stock in McDonald's is rising today. Shares up 2% as the company says its quarter pounder will return to all locales this week, including the 13 states that were part of the E. coli outbreak revealed last week. It comes after testing on the burger's beef patties, which have now been ruled out as the source of the outbreak. Slivered raw onions were the likely source. So for now, at least, the quarter pounders will have no onions. So which candidate for president would be better for your finances? Depends on which finances we're talking about. 38% of investors in a new Bloomberg Markets Live Pulse survey say the stock market will likely accelerate more under a Trump presidency. 13% say Harris. But the same survey finds investors think mortgage rates will likely decrease more if Harris becomes president than if Trump does. The week ahead is loaded with tech company earnings, and Wall Street is sounding an optimistic tone so far. Right now, the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500 all gaining 0.5%. Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you and take the time to create a personalized strategy for your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation change? I'm Susie Sanders, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. When we work together, we'll focus on what's important to you. We'll use an established process to create a personalized financial strategy backed by the advice, tools, and resources used to help you reach your goals. Contact me today, 360-452-3577. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Let's head out and check on our traffic once again this morning, brought to us by Leeds Farm Supply and Angela's Furniture.
No matter what you are trying to keep in or what you're trying to keep out, Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales has fencing to get the job done right. Leeds carries everything from barbed wire and no-climb fencing to field fences and gates with all the equipment you'll need to install. You'll even find fence chargers, electric rope, T-posts, and anything else you might need to get the job done. Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales is your local farm store and so much more. Located at 259110 Highway 101 in Sequim.
Huge savings are going on right now at Angela's Furniture. The spectacular fall sale brings discounts on so many models of Beautyrest mattresses. You'll pay only $8.99 for the Beautyrest Select Medium Queen Set. The Harmony Cayman Medium Queen Set is just $12.49 right now. And the Harmony Luxe Empress Firm Queen is just $19.49. Get the refreshing sleep you deserve tonight on your new Beautyrest mattress at Angela's Furniture, 1114 East 1st Street.
Newsradio KONP, traffic and roads.
Well, it looks as though the phone lines have decided to take a bit of a holiday this morning, and I can't get in touch with them. But I'm going to tell you, as the traffic looks outside of my window here, yep, there's people out there going to work. And there went a truck right there. See, just you cannot get this kind of top-notch reporting on any other station here except KONP. There was another car and another one. So just be careful out there. Make sure you're driving with your headlights on. We have reached that time of year where it's just a little bit dark out in the morning and going home. And we want to make sure that you're safe and sound and get to your final destination, which is a weird thing to say since I'm pretty sure that was a horror movie. You know, we're getting into the holiday season. People coming over, invading our homes. I mean, coming to say hi and doing all of the things. The average person takes just 38 seconds to judge your home. And they're going to notice if you have vacuumed, if your windows are dirty, or if there is a funny smell. Now, I don't know what they're going to do after 39 seconds. Are they going to leave? Are they going to stay? So depending on whether you want the company or not, you know, just letting you know what you can do to get people to maybe leave. What was the worst thing you ever got while trick-or-treating? Here are some of the responses from a survey that was recently done. One person said this old lady used to give out prayer cards. I don't think that's a bad idea, but, you know, I guess when you're a kid and expecting a Hershey's, that's one thing. I once got a candy apple that had so much caramel goo on it, it literally sucked my tooth right out of my mouth. Ooh, that's rough. One person or some people said a hard-boiled egg. That's terrible. A dentist near my house used to give out toothbrushes and a little thing of floss. Well, I get it. Saltine crackers made the list. And one year, this person said, a woman ran out of candy, so she started giving out canned vegetables. Trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. Or in this case, some canned corn. Well, you know, beggars can't be choosers, right? In an often divided world, research revealed that the factor Americans feel unifies us the most is food. 84% of Americans say food genuinely has the power to connect people of different cultures and backgrounds, which is why when you go to any sort of family function or friend get together or anything, everyone always winds up in the kitchen. That's because that's where the food's at, and that's because it brings us together. Now, everyone knows that comes to visit my house that they're not allowed to stay in the kitchen, not because I don't love them or want them there, but because I have what I affectionately call a one-butt kitchen. That means one person can be behind the counter. Otherwise, there will be a traffic jam. You know, small house, small problems.
When I was a kid, I always looked forward to harvest time every year for fresh apples and delicious cider. This is Dale from Wilder Auto, and I would like to invite you to come harvest a great selection of end-of-year super specials. The time is right for great savings, and with over 100 lenders, hefty rebates and lease incentives, and some of the best brands on the planet, why would you go anywhere else? For best selection, stop by today or 24/7 at wilderauto.com.
I was growing up, none of the men in my life had good character. My stepdad abandoned me and my siblings within hours of my mother's funeral. My biological father died of alcoholism a few years later. One of the first men to model integrity for me was Jeff, the man who hired me right out of college. He became a good friend and a strong mentor. One day while visiting my office in San Diego, Jeff mailed some personal letters through the company's postal service. Then he asked me, "How much do I owe you?" I waved him off and said, "Don't worry about it. It was just a few cents." But Jeff said, "It's not the company's responsibility to pay my postage." I encouraged Jeff to let it go, but he just wouldn't do it. In the end, I agreed to charge him full price, $1.30, something like that. Jeff's determination to do what was right left a huge impression on me. In that moment, he didn't merely talk about integrity, he demonstrated it. He showed how to honor the big things by taking care of the little things. It's the little things that transform a person's job, marriage, and relationship with their kids into something great. Without integrity, our choices are rooted in convenience, so we shade the truth and cut corners that benefit us while taking advantage of someone else. With integrity, our choices are rooted in character. We do what's right because it's right to do, no matter what it costs us. For more to help you thrive, go to Focus on the Family. I'm Jim Daly.
Mike Chapman has proudly served our community as an elected official since 2001. Before that, he was a law enforcement officer. We've seen extremist threats to abortion access, and Mike has never stood idly by when there's a threat. That's why he has always been 100% pro-choice as your state representative. Mike would be honored to continue standing up for our freedoms as our next state senator.
Paid for by Chapman for Senate, Democrat.
National Karastan Month is underway now at McCrory Carpet One, offering the biggest savings of the year on Karastan flooring, with prices starting at just $2.99 a square foot for carpet and $4.99 a square foot for LVP. If you desire timeless flooring for your home or business, Karastan flooring is flawless, long-lasting, and made for a life lived beautifully. Right now, get 12 months of 0% financing OAC. When it comes to the perfect flooring, there's no better combo than Karastan and my friends at McCrory Carpet One. Well, if you haven't stepped outside yet this morning, I'm going to tell you it's a little chilly. Not too bad, just a little. 45 degrees in Port Angeles, 45 in Sequim, 45 in Forks. Nia Bay is at 50, and Port Townsend is at 46 now. We are expecting a little bit more drizzly rain today, so make sure you dress in layers, as my mom said, because you never know what the day's going to bring.
News, sports, and information for the North Olympic Peninsula. We're News Radio KONP, Port Angeles, Sequim, a Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A week and a day to go before Election Day, and candidates are trying to make their final pitch to voters who haven't cast their ballots yet. ABC's Karen Travers is following the Harris campaign.
Vice President Harris is in Michigan today, making 3 stops in that battleground state. On Tuesday, she'll deliver what her campaign is billing as a closing argument, a major speech on the National Mall at the Ellipse, the location where former President Donald Trump spoke to his supporters on January 6, 2021, before they stormed the Capitol. Then it's back to the battleground trail for the vice president. Events on Wednesday in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. And Thursday, she campaigns in Nevada and Arizona. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Former President Donald Trump planning stops today in Georgia after taking over Madison Square Garden in New York.
Donald Trump kicking off the final week of the 2024 campaign.
On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history.
Once again labeling Democrats the enemy from within.
No, they've done very bad things to this country. They are indeed the enemy from within.
The former president painting America as a nation in decline.
ABC's Rachel Scott. That rally drawing criticism from some for the speakers who were included, like comedian Tony Hinchcliffe.
There's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
A Trump spokesperson saying that joke does not reflect the views of Donald Trump or his campaign. Philadelphia's district attorney has just sued Elon Musk and his political action committee over that $1 million a day giveaway. It was giving money to people who signed a petition, the DA calling it an illegal lottery. The DOJ had warned it might violate federal election law. McDonald's putting Quarter Pounders back on the menu in locations where they've been pulled over E. coli concerns. Those locations will sell the burgers without onions. You're listening to ABC News.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
More deals are starting to pop up, promising Thanksgiving dinner on a budget.
Target is announcing it will offer a Thanksgiving meal that will serve 4 people for $20. That's $5 less than last year. This deal features 7 items, including an up to 10-pound turkey, green beans, stuffing, mixed potatoes, and gravy.
That's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze. Sam's Club is offering a package that'll feed 10, it says, for about $10 a person, and it'll come pre-cooked, so prep should only take about 2 hours. There are more talks going on today, trying to find a way to a ceasefire in Gaza. ABC's Jordana Miller in the region with more.
A new round of U.S.-led Gaza ceasefire talks underway in Doha with the Israelis, Egyptians, and Qataris. CIA Chief Bill Burns weighing some new options, from a shorter initial ceasefire to a sweeping all-for-all deal. That is, declaring an immediate end of the war, releasing all 97 Israeli hostages, and a swift Israeli army redeployment. Egypt's proposal for a 2-day ceasefire grabbing headlines, but Hamas indicating it will reject any partial deal and stick to its hardline position. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
An Ohio family has turned a dime into $500,000. The dime was struck at the U.S. Mint in San Francisco in 1975, but became out without the distinctive mint mark. It was one of only 2 known to exist and sold at auction for $506,000. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Meet Brian. He just got $5,000, and it was pretty easy. I'll tell you how in 10 seconds. Brian needed cash help. After being rejected by banks, he tried 27cash.com. Told them how much he needed, even let them know he had bad credit. In minutes, 27cash.com found a lender who deposited $5,000 into his bank account the very next day. If you need cash help, even if you have bad credit, go to 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
This is the Peninsula's Morning News.
Good morning. Welcome to News Radio KONP, Port Angeles Squim, here on Monday, October 28th. I'm Amanda Bacon, filling in for Todd Ortloff this week, and here's what's making news. In the early hours of October 25th, Clallam County Sheriff's Deputy Cody Brooks stopped a car on Highway 101 near Safeway. The driver, Corey Tyler Blake, 38, from Port Hadlock, was observed with a suspected drug smoking device. After consulting with the Olympic Peninsula Narcotics Enforcement Team, or OPNET, and obtaining a search warrant, deputies and a narcotics canine conducted a vehicle search, initially finding only marijuana. However, retracing Blake's route led to a backpack discarded along the road. Inside, authorities discovered 197.29 grams of suspected fentanyl pills in several packages and 140.72 grams of suspected methamphetamine in several packages. Blake was taken into custody for possession with intent to distribute. Blake has a lengthy criminal history. In April of this year, criminal charges were filed in Clallam County Superior Court, and an arrest warrant was issued to arrest Blake for burglary first degree with 2 firearm enhancements and robbery first degree with 2 firearm enhancements. These charges stemmed from his involvement in a Squim home invasion on March 28th. For a look at what happened over the weekend, now here's our own Sandy Keys.
Our English language is one of the world's most precise and expressive, and yet we still have people who must communicate by force. This past weekend started with an assault, 9:23 Friday morning in Port Angeles at East 12th, and continued with the next call an hour and a half later to the same address for the same reason. The third assault was reported at 1:20 in Squim, the fourth 10 minutes later in Squim, the last assault in Squim, 7:18 Saturday night. 4 other complaints involved threats, all 4 in Greater Port Angeles, and harassments. The weekend's first one near 5th and Pine, Port Angeles, the rest in Squim on West Cedar, Salal Way, and South 3rd Avenue, all completed by 5:10 Saturday afternoon, leaving the rest of the weekend free for other activities. For example, somebody had time for a burglary, the weekend's only one, discovered and reported at 8:40 Saturday night from an East 12th Street address. And some thefts, a car theft at Joyce Piedmont Road Friday afternoon. The next 2, and the weekend's last, were reported at 4:38 and 6:55 Friday afternoon from East 1st and East 3rd. that last one from downtown Safeway store. Fire personnel rushed to reports of lines down along Robbins Road Squim, a smoke investigation at Laird's Road Saturday morning, plus several commercial and residential fire alarms in Greater Squim and Port Angeles. Police and State Patrol investigated at least 8 vehicle accidents, most in Greater Port Angeles, but Squim had one at 680 West Washington and added another to the growing number at the River Road and West Washington intersection. All the while, we here in Port Angeles seem to have been reducing the number of crashes at 101 and Colonel's Way, for example. Still concerning traffic, law enforcers processed DUI violations in Port Angeles midday Friday on East 1st, another in Forks late Saturday night. Yet, they were able to squeeze in 21-plus traffic stops, 13 building checks, and 12 welfare checks. One of only a few weekend surprises was the weekend abandoned vehicle number. By midday Saturday, they had reports of 9 abandoned vehicles. All were found before noon Saturday, all but one in Port Angeles, the other in Forks. Squim didn't even get an honorable mention. They had none, and that's just the way they like it. Sandy Keys, Radio Pacific Local News.
Thank you, Sandy. We'll be back with more right after this.
Tri-State Roofing is celebrating the grand pre-opening in Squim. Tri-State specializes in more than just roofs, siding, gutters, patio covers, and doors. And the best part is, we got you covered with incredible financing. Project now and pay later, much later. 0 down payment, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 18 months on approved credit. Experience the Tri-State way. We've got you covered 24/7. Call 253-ROOFING.
Tri-State Roofing, we got you covered.
Here's why voting yes on both the upcoming school levy and bond measures is easy. The levy pays for all sports, all music, most paraeducators, and supports core school operations. We've renewed it since the 60s, and it's critical. Now, the bond does not add extra taxes. It simply continues the plan. It's phase 2 of a disciplined 30-year plan to renew all our schools. So far, the plan is on time and on budget, so saying yes is easy. Paid for by Port Angeles Citizens for Education.
You work hard and play hard. You need a trailer as tough as you are. Rely on Stories Trailer Sales. They have trailers, and more trailers from Great Northern. Everything from rugged standard dump trailers for handling the biggest jobs to mini dump trailers perfect for homeowner and DIY projects. For a full lineup, check out Stories Trailer Sales at storiesservicestation.com, and Stories will deliver direct to you. That's STOREYS servicestation.com.
The 2024 general election is just a week and a day away. According to the Washington Secretary of State website, 30.83% of Clallam County ballots have been returned, equaling 18,069 ballots, with 0.81% of them, or 146 of those ballots, being challenged. How does that stack up against the rest of Washington? As of Friday afternoon, Washington State shows a 22.55% return rate of the almost 5 million registered voters, with 0.92% of those ballots being challenged, or 10,321. The Rough Riders swim team will send 10 of their swimmers to the district meet November 18th and 19th at the Mount Tahoma High School. Brooke St. Louis, Lizzie Shaw, Amaya Nelson, Danica Azerjazan, Lindsay Reed, Damon Sierra, Emerson Dubois, Lucy Townsend, Chloe K. Sanders, and Mia Francis all qualified for district. Lindsay Reed placed first in diving and the 200 intermediate. Damon Sierra placed first in the 100 butterfly. Emerson Dubois placed second in the 500 freestyle, and Chloe K. Sanders placed third in the 100 breaststroke. In soccer action, the Squim Wolves went on the road to 8th-ranked North Kitsap and again lost in a heartbreaker 2-1. Kylie Winter scored the goal for the Wolves with an assist from Harper Moore. Wolves goalie Callie Moore made 10 saves. The Squim Wolves football team can clinch a district playoff spot with a win over North Mason Thursday night in a game you can hear right here on KONP. North Mason lost to Olympic 51-0 last Friday night. Speaking of Olympic, the Port Angeles Rough Riders will finish their season at home Friday night against a very big and very talented Olympic Trojan team. You can hear that game here on Newsradio KONP. And in other, I think it's local sports as well, Squim's own Pearl Peterson knocked it out of the park once again this weekend as she sang one of the best renditions of the national anthem I have ever heard in my life. So say I. Peterson grew up in Squim and was an 18-year-old Squim High School graduate or senior when she performed last October for the first time at the World Series. A self-taught singer, Pearl Peterson was with the Boys and Girls Club for 11 years before moving on to university, where she's studying lyrical theater as she pursues a bachelor's degree in musical arts. We're going to be playing the entire anthem on the Morning Scramble, so stick around for that at about 8:30 this morning. But for now, here is her flawless rendition, the ending of it, at the second game of the World Series, her second time. Pearl, we are all so proud of you. Congratulations.
Just added a new appliance. It might be causing your power to drop constantly. Don't just ignore it, as this could lead to a hazardous situation. Call Meyer Electric for a quote and expert options to fix the issue fast. Enjoy your home upgrades with peace of mind, knowing your electrical is safe. Meyer Electric, serving Clallam County from Port Townsend to Forks, with a reputation you can trust. Call Meyer Electric today, 582-7999.
In 1980, Washington elected its last Republican governor. Not even California or New York can say that. And for nearly 40 years, our Democrat governor has always been a lawyer. Guess what? In 2024, Democrats nominated another lawyer. Same old, same old. It's time to bring in a King County sheriff. Vote Dave Reichert.
We can't change the past, but the future, that belongs to us. I'm Dave Reichert.
Paid for by We Stand With Dave Reichert, Republican.
Hi, this is Brandon Johnson, General Manager of Price Ford in Port Angeles. It's fall, and that means the leaves are falling, just like the prices on our new Fords.
It's also World Series time, and boy, do we have the bases covered.
Yes, we do. Huge discounts, low interest rates, and a fantastic selection. We're parking them in the lower lot. They need to go.
What kind of discounts?
$5,000 off Bronco Sports, $6,200 off F-150s, $7,600 on Super Duties, $8,300 off Broncos, and $15,000 off E-Transits. Now's the time to buy.
Visit us at priceford.com.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. Chance for showers today, otherwise cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. Daytime highs approaching 53, winds out of the west 8 to 15 miles an hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, slight chance of rain showers, lows dip down to about 41. Chance of rain showers tomorrow, high of 51, partly cloudy skies. 51 Wednesday with isolated rain showers likely. 49 Thursday, showers continue. That's a look at your forecast, powered by weatherology.com. I'm meteorologist Derek Height. Currently 47.
Prayers answered. Good morning, I'm Jay Reynolds. The Bears scoring in Washington with 25 seconds to go yesterday. They take a 3-point lead. Washington needs a touchdown.
Daniels backing up. He's just going to have to let one fly. Steps up, fires, heads towards the end zone. It is...
Launches into the area of the end zone, tipped, and it's caught by Noah Brown. He was the tip man, and this place is now gone into bedlam mode. Washington with the miracle finish.
They are deflated in Chicago, ESPN 1000, after the elation from Big 100 in Washington. Commanders winning it on the Hail Mary. Niners hold off the Cowboys and win by a touchdown. Eagles go to 5-2 with their win over Cincinnati. Lions pounce on the Titans and win by 38. Detroit goes to 6-1. Chiefs are the lone remaining unbeaten in the NFL. They go to 7-0 with a 7-point win over the Raiders. Tua returns to the Dolphins, but they lose to Arizona on a last-second field goal. Packers get a last-second field goal and beat the Jaguars. Jets lose to the Patriots. 5th consecutive loss for the Jets. Browns stun the Ravens 29-24. Kirk Cousins, 4 touchdowns. Falcons sweep the season series from the Bucs. Chargers beat the Saints 26-8. Broncos go to 5-3 with a win over the Panthers. Bills top the Seahawks by 3 touchdowns. Their 4th win by at least 21 points this season. NBA Warriors lose to the Clippers, and Golden State loses Steph Curry to a rolled ankle in the 4th quarter. Tyrese Maxey, 45 points. Sixers beat the Pacers in overtime. Blazers get past the Pelicans. They avoid going to 0-3 again. Nets beat the Bucks for their first win of the season. Despite a partially dislocated left shoulder, Shohei Ohtani is set to play for the Dodgers in Game 3 of the World Series at Yankee Stadium tonight. The game is available on ESPN Radio.
What's up, sandwich heads? Today on Steve-O's Sandwich Reviews, we've got the tips and tricks to the best sandwich order. And it all starts with this little guy right here. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Partial to pastrami, craving a Cubano. Yeah, sounds delicious, but boom! Add the crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar and cue the fireworks. Lunch, dinner, or late night, it'll be a sandwich worth celebrating. Trust me, your boy's eaten a lot of sandwiches in his day, and the one thing I can say with absolute fact... every bite is better with Pepsi.
The Ramsey Show.
So I am 20 years old, straight out of high school. I moved to Phoenix, Arizona to start my own business selling furniture.
What does selling furniture look like?
So I go around picking it up, clean it up, take really good pictures, and sell it. I'll probably do about 100 grand this year. Net.
Wow. Some of you are standing around with your finger in your ear. And then you got a 20-year-old with a high school education that's making 100 grand flipping used furniture.
He's laughing all the way to the bank.
Catch The Ramsey Show from 2 to 4 Monday through Friday on your local information station, Newsradio KONP.
Newsradio KONP Business. This is the Bloomberg Money Minute. Boeing reportedly plans a round of fundraising to shore up its liquidity and avoid a downgrade to its credit rating. Boeing has been burning through cash as it deals with a series of safety issues and a machinist strike that has shut down airplane production for a month. Sources say the company is working with advisors to line up potential investors. Delta Airlines is suing CrowdStrike, the company behind last summer's worldwide computer meltdown. Delta was hit especially hard after CrowdStrike Holdings sent out a software update that triggered an outage, disabling millions of computers. Delta officials say the faulty update not only cost at least $500 million in out-of-pocket losses, it also did severe harm to its reputation and goodwill. A tech publication, The Information, reports that Google developers have come up with AI that can take over web browsers as well as handle research, shopping, and other tasks. The report says Google could be ready to demonstrate the product as early as December. Kimberly Adams, Bloomberg Radio.
Time to check the traffic once again this morning, brought to us by Angela's Furniture and Leeds Farm Supply.
At the Best of Fall sale at Angela's Furniture, you'll see incredible sale pricing on several different Lazy Boy recliner styles. The Vail Rocker Recliner is only $549, or take a step up to the Pinnacle Rocker Recliner for $799. Maybe you just need some cushy luxury in the Redwood Rocker Recliner at just $1149. You'll also see Stanton Sofa Sleepers on sale as low as $1499 for a twin. You'll fall into these savings right now during the Best of Fall sale at Angela's Furniture.
Nor wind, nor rain, nor sleet, nor any other weather event is too much to handle for Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment sales. Not only are we the largest feed supplier on the Olympic Peninsula, we carry mowers and blowers, shovels and tractors in all shapes and sizes, and have the largest selection of trailers around. For big or small jobs, Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales has the right tool at the right price. Come on in. We'd love to work with you. Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales, 259-110, Highway 101 in Sequim.
Newsradio KONP, traffic and roads.
All right, let's head up to Clallam Transit and check in with our buddy Steve, see how things are going. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, we're doing pretty good around the Port Angeles Sequim area right now. Still light traffic basically making its way through town. Things moving along pretty smoothly so far. Same thing on Highway 101 between Port Angeles and Sequim. No real issues out there. Traffic is moving along pretty smoothly. If you're headed beyond that, Hood Canal Bridge, good to go. Still no scheduled marine openings this morning. Also, state ferries are running on time today. Now, if you're headed out to the west end, a few issues along 101. Lake Crescent, about milepost 230, 232 right in there. A couple big rocks come off the wall down there. took out a guardrail and a few other things. Single-lane traffic right now going through that area, and they do have some equipment coming in to get that off the road. So just be careful or expect delays if you're headed out to the Forks area. Other than that, not such a bad motoring. The rain has slacked off a bit, so we're in pretty good shape. Everybody take care and be safe. This is Steve reporting live from Clallam Transit for KONP.
Can you be found guilty of homicide if you proceed through an intersection when the light turns green and kill someone in the crosswalk? The court had to answer that question in the case of the distracted driver. I'm Curtis Howard with today's Point of Law.
Point of Law, presented by McCrory Carpet One.
Dan Bassett may not have been the brightest kid in the world, but he wasn't a bad sort. He dropped out of school when he turned 16 and went to work driving a panel truck around town delivering candy and sandwiches to convenience stores. Then he heard about a used auto dealer who needed someone to pick up and deliver used cars purchased at auctions around the state to his dealership. Dan applied for and received the job. Dan was to be paid so much per trip, so the trick was to get back from each trip as quickly as possible. The more trips he made a week, the more money he made. Late one afternoon, after a 400-mile run, all Dan could think about was a hot meal and a comfortable bed. As he pulled up to a red light, he was distracted by a very pretty girl on the opposite sidewalk. He glimpsed the red light turning to green and stepped hard on the accelerator. That was when he heard the cry and the awful crunching noise. He braked to a stop. A policeman happened to be nearby and witnessed the accident. "You hit the boy's bike, and the boy is dead. You're under arrest." And the officer proceeded to read Dan his rights. The district attorney charged Dan with manslaughter. He told the court, "A reasonable driver would have recognized that in a crosswalk like this, pedestrians are often unable to get all the way across before the light changes, especially older people, handicapped people, and children. Now, every driver must anticipate that someone may be caught by the change of lights. By failing to anticipate this, Dan is guilty of gross negligence resulting in a death, and he must be convicted of manslaughter." Dan's attorney argued, "The green light, which was in Dan's favor, is placed there to tell drivers when to go. That's when they have the right of way. Now, we concede Dan was not as careful as he might have been, but his actions were not in wanton disregard of others' rights. Dan responded automatically to the green signal and should not be held criminally responsible." What did the court decide about the distracted driver? We'll return with the verdict in a moment.
National Kerostan Month is underway now at McCrory Carpet One, offering the biggest savings of the year on Kerostan flooring, with prices starting at just $2.99 a square foot for carpet and $4.99 a square foot for LVP. If you desire timeless flooring for your home or business, Kerostan flooring is flawless, long-lasting, and made for a life lived beautifully. Right now, get 12 months of 0% financing OAC. When it comes to the perfect flooring, there's no better combo than Kerostan and my friends at McCrory Carpet One.
Can you be found guilty of homicide if you proceed through an intersection when the light turns green and kill someone in the crosswalk? Yes, ruled an Ohio court. A green light doesn't give drivers the right to plow ahead without regard for the safety of others. By not seeing what was plainly there, Dan broke the law and is criminally responsible. He will be sentenced accordingly. It's a point of law.
For the Washington State News Network, I'm Lance Tormey. A new poll shows Washington voters are worried about the possibility of post-election violence. The poll from the Seattle Times, King 5, and the University of Washington Center for Informed Public shows nearly two-thirds of respondents are concerned that this month's election results will lead to politically motivated violence. With the weather getting colder, many folks soon will be busy gathering their winter supplies of firewood from the National Forest. Forest spokesperson Robin Amarios says cutting permits allow wood to be taken from select areas of the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest.
Folks need to remember that the permits are valid through December 31st. But
access may be the limiting factor, and you may not be able to access national forest roads due to snow before that. So it's always a good idea to get out and get your winter supply of firewood before snows fall and close forest roads.
Woodcutters may obtain a maximum of 12 cords of wood per household per year and can use it for firewood, manufacturing, or other processing, but are not allowed to resell it. Free personal use woodcutting permits are available at the Forest Service headquarters building in Wenatchee and all Ranger District offices in the area and throughout the state of Washington. And the Seattle Public School District has released a list of schools it intends to shutter as part of an aggressive closure plan announced earlier this year. District plans to close North Beach, Stevens, Sacagawea, and Seneslow elementary schools by next year. For more on these and other stories, download the WSNN mobile app or visit WashingtonStateNews.net.
To your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Whoever said you can't buy happiness clearly has never dined at Rain Shadow Cafe in Sequim. Besides being voted the best cup of coffee and best espresso in Clallam County, they also sell happiness by the mouthful.
The food is so cool. I honestly didn't realize how much of a menu we had, but there's so many items and kind of a little bit of everything for somebody so they can pick and choose what they want, and so you can really make everybody happy.
Buy your happiness by the mouthful and the cupful at Rain Shadow Cafe.
Mike Chapman has proudly served our community as an elected official since 2001. Before that, he was a law enforcement officer. We've seen extremist threats to abortion access, and Mike has never stood idly by when there's a threat. That's why he has always been 100% pro-choice as your state representative. Mike would be honored to continue standing up for our freedoms as our next state senator.
Paid for by Chapman for Senate, Democrat.
Today is a very special day.
Today is National First Responders Day.
First responder? The first to respond.
Honor the men and women who take immediate action when disaster strikes.
We honor you today.
This is mainly focused on our first responder.
From the first responders who answered the call.
If we haven't said it before, we just want to say thank you.
It's very important work.
We would like to say thank you.
It's showtime.
Ah, yes. Thank you to our first responders out there, always going into harm's way to make sure that we are safe. We love and appreciate you all every day, but especially on this Monday, First Responders Day. Welcome to the Morning Scramble. I am the high-pitched Todd Ortloff. No, wait. I'm Amanda Bacon, filling in for Todd Ortloff this week since he filled in and Steph filled in for me last week. I am joined by Stephanie Ray to the left of me, right?
Not right.
You're the left.
Left,
yeah. And in front of me, gracing us with his beauty, his grace, his ever-loving face, is Mark Abshire.
None of that. Boy, it got real formal here. All this, you know, it was the music. You just followed the music.
I did. I set the tone.
Yes.
And then I followed it.
It's much more casual with Todd.
I didn't even know that was a show open because I'm like, oh, another commercial. It sounded so serious.
Yeah. Well, I could have done that, or I could have done my favorite, which I might do tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what tomorrow's show open is. It's Stephanie missed me so much while I was on vacation that she is all choked up this morning.
It's bad. I'm worried. It won't go away.
Well, you're not getting out of work that easy.
She's got the sneezy.
Okay. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Might possibly be, is it a bagel? Did you eat a
No,
bagel?
I ate nothing. I'm just drinking coffee.
What'd you put in it? Chunks? Is the creamer chunky?
No,
Do we need to get rid of it?
I think the coffee machine might need to be cleaned because there is a little black in there.
Oh, well. How about you, Mark?
I've got a full cup
Nice.
of whatever that is she's drinking. So
Be careful. You don't
Yeah.
see yours. Mine has creamer. I see mine.
I used 2 K-Cup pods in my coffee maker this morning to get the adequate amount of liquid to get me through the first 3 hours of the day.
That's a double barrel.
But it is.
You've been used to sleeping in a tad on your vacation, though?
Smidge.
You weren't getting up at 4, I can tell you that.
I was not. I also didn't get up at 4 this morning. I got up at 3.
3.
Yeah.
I knew it.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
I also stayed up later. Like the first night of vacation, I was just like, guys, I got to turn in. It was like 8. And they looked at me and I was like, oh, I guess I should stay up longer.
Did you just say turn in?
I did. I'm
You're
112.
So old.
I'm 112 years old.
Only Mark says that.
It didn't even, I didn't notice anything weird about it.
Exactly.
I knew exactly what she meant.
That's my point.
I'm like, okay, turn in.
I knew what she meant. I just would I have actually, I could say I've never said that.
Really?
Ever in my life. I am so immature.
Time to turn in.
Time to turn in for the evening. Wow. You know what?
It just sounds old.
Do you know what else makes me really old? I bought new sheets and a beautiful new duvet cover and a new down comforter.
You're ready for the winter.
Yeah, my down comforter that I've had has been multiple generations. It feels a little. It was time.
Over time, yeah.
It was time, and so I bought a king size comforter with a queen size duvet so that it's overstuffed and fluffy, and it's white with little ruffle, just like a little ruffle along the bottom and on the sides, and my new white with blue flower flannel sheets.
We are the opposite.
Do you know how excited I was to crawl into my bed after vacation with my new sheets?
But were you wearing a
nightgown?
Floor-length nightgown with the ruffle at the bottom like somebody of the older group?
It is not floor length.
Like Little House on the Prairie.
But it 100% is a nightgown with a ruffle on the bottom. It goes down to my knees.
How did I know?
Because I'm 112. Mark, what'd you do this weekend?
Bunch of yard work mostly.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
but Saturday turned out pretty decent.
Saturday we were on the hillside above Red Lion clearing out, trying to work on Haynes Point and that whole hillside there coming down Front Street.
Is
from
there
Peabody.
a view now?
It's better than it was on Friday.
Thank goodness. I have seen so many people comment on. I'm so glad you worked on that.
We had a bunch of people. It was probably about 10 or 12 people out there working on the.
Well, thank you to them
hillside.
as
There's
well.
much more to do. It's just so everybody knows it's not going to happen overnight.
It's not easy.
It's an extensive and it's very steep.
You have to be careful.
It's steeper than it looks.
Do you get vertigo? You probably
really,
get vertigo.
seriously.
No, it looks terrible.
Well, I don't know about vertigo, but it's and it's a little bit. It rained prior, so it was, and there was a bunch of leaves down there, so it's a little slippery on that hillside as well. So, anyway, a bunch of yard work at home, and then a bunch of yard work on the
city
Front Street hillside. So I was outside. Doing battle with the
elements.
With the
it was dumping all
with
weekend.
the flora.
It was foraging.
Now, if we could get fauna to sign up for this, that'd be great.
Well, luckily we didn't see any fauna. There was a couple of moments I thought there might be a den that I was clearing out there on that hillside, but nobody
nothing
in it. Nothing in there that I saw. So
Good.
Who knows?
Good. Thef, what did you do this weekend?
Oh, it was just glorious. I cleaned the house and got ready for the house/pet sitter because, I mean, you do that so you don't have to worry about things. But I am worried about her coming into my home and thinking I'm a complete slob.
Well, you got to clean your house before the house cleaner comes to clean out your house.
It makes no sense. But you know what? I have you know me, I have a 5-page, I took my work computer home because it's way better than my home computer. I took my work computer home to type out the
instructions
5-page list of the bird, which is 2 full pages because the bird is very complicated. The dog is just very little.
Do they have to get a certificate or pass some sort of graduation?
I'll tell you what, though. When she came over to do the walkthrough 2 weeks ago, she had her notepad ready. She's as detailed as I am. She wanted to know things like, how far does the dog gate actually stay open when the dog sleeps in the house, just in case we're very prepared. If there's a fire, we want the dog to get out, but she'll stay in there. I mean, she was very detailed, so I didn't feel bad writing the list, but also it was very hard because I had to do it twice. I did not save it, and it went away in the night. So I spent 19 hours doing that because that's how long it takes. And I got rid of my child. She wanted to go somewhere. And she goes, when do I have to be home? I go, I don't care. Go. Have fun.
How can I miss you if you won't go away situation?
Yeah. Be safe.
Have
be
fun.
safe. So I did everything while she was gone because it wasn't mom. So I got the house ready.
I've seen Stephanie's emails and text messages, so I can promise you that 9 pages probably could have been 4, but
Yeah.
I do like the detailedness of it.
Come on. It was 5.
Was it single spaced?
5. Yep.
Okay.
I put a space between animals, between sections.
Oh, that was nice.
And there was a third section. The house had to be the third section. We have weird things.
You should put a multiple choice questionnaire at the end of it. You know, just to
Survey monkey.
see how well she read the.
She wants, you know
5
what, though?
pages.
She actually wants it before I leave. She wants me to email it to her. So
that
in
makes
case
sense.
she has questions about the odd things that I put on the list.
I text my niece who stayed at my house, and I was like, here are 5 things you need to know. Please have the cat be alive when I get back. Love you. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just say, might have been a hair worried before you left, but you just didn't want to care. You were just like, I need to put trust in this person. And
she's great.
You have to, or it's not a vacation.
Yeah.
You have to have peace of mind.
Everybody
or you don't
worries,
have...
though.
Here's why I was worried at first is because Lyric, my kitty, had some health problems going into this, and I didn't know if they were going to be resolved, if they were going to be. And so he got a clean bill of health before I left. So then I was just like, great, you don't have to monitor anything. Just do your thing.
Way better.
Totally way better.
I'm not saying that you were concerned because of her. I do remember you being concerned because of that.
Yeah. So I did get a couple pictures and videos, and he was very adorable. I got another video this morning that I shared with Stephanie from a different person who's watching the cat at the moment, and it was quite entertaining and different.
You were in the sunshine.
I was in Arizona.
Couldn't tell.
It was,
you look like you're
right.
You're
She's
ready for Halloween.
She's still opaque.
I mean, you could be a ghost.
I could, and I've had to. You have no idea how much foundation I had to put on my face this morning to give it any sort of color.
What's up with that?
I don't know. I put on my best friends. They yell at me if I get a sunburn, any sort of sunburn.
She always does.
So
though.
I put on SPF 30. So I was like, that'll give me a little break, but also it'll give me a chance to maybe get some sun. So I sat my happy little butt in the pool in 99-degree weather with my legs out, and what else? Most things covered, but what else needed tanned?
Yeah.
And I sat facing the sun like a little sun goddess for 2 hours for a couple of different days. Nothing.
You literally, I did.
You'd think I spent my week vacation in Carlsberg.
Well, Carlsberg's sunny. That doesn't track.
Yeah, but it was raining.
It was
not.
not.
Well, you mean this weekend?
Yeah,
we
it
had
was
some rain.
sunny for 14 minutes this weekend.
Couldn't believe it. Just couldn't believe it.
Welcome back, though.
Yeah.
We are so glad you're here. And now
the key was you were poolside.
I was
relaxing
and not here.
It was great.
And we didn't
watching
text
trashy
her.
TV.
We didn't text her.
No.
Trashy TV.
My cousins who I stayed with, they watch entirely different shows than I do. So I get to catch up on this reality TV, which I say in quotes, when I'm down there. And it's fascinating.
Wait,
which ones did you watch?
Love is Blind?
No. We watched Real Housewives of 2 different counties. I don't know which
Kardashians.
It doesn't matter.
She knows I won't watch the Kardashians.
It is garbage TV.
It's garbage.
Complete
It
garbage
is so
TV.
funny. And then also Ridiculousness, which is fine. I watch that occasionally. What else? But I did watch Monsters, the Menendez brothers story on Netflix.
What my daughter's following that. She is so excited they're getting out of prison.
I've only watched 2 episodes of that.
Oh, I won't tell you anything then.
Yeah. What's the other one I watched? That other one. It's on Netflix. It is
a documentary?
Painkiller. About
what's her name?
No, Painkiller about the Oxycontin.
Yes, Oxycontin. Yep, I watched that.
That was intense.
I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. Well,
so proud of you. You obviously didn't have a TV in your bedroom.
You're proud of her because she watched the TV show?
No, things that she would never watch. And then now I can talk about her about the same things I watch.
The bar has really been set low.
I watched Seinfeld to go to sleep, though. So, I mean, some things are the same. Good. But amongst all of that falderall was the really big thing. Our dear Pearl Peterson sang the national anthem for a second time at the World Series. Who does that?
I'm not surprised. Listen to her.
She's phenomenal.
And that's worldwide. That's a worldwide production right there.
Huge.
The World Series.
Watching her was incredible because her grace and composure, I'm watching it going, I would be wetting myself. I'd be so scared. You couldn't tell. There was no nerves. She looked beautiful. She looked calm. And so I have been teasing this anthem all morning long. Yes. So here is its entirety is the incredible Pearl Peterson of Squim.
From Saturday.
World singing
Series,
the
Game
national
2.
anthem at Game 2 of the World Series.
Oh, Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang glare, the bombs bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
It doesn't get any better than that.
She's from Squim.
She is from Squim. That's our Pearl Peterson.
Very impressive.
Is
Yeah.
that not incredible?
Mm-hmm.
I like, there's Whitney Houston and there's Pearl Peterson.
She did really fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Very fantastic.
Now, there was another national anthem song this weekend that was not as good. And we can't play it.
It's easy.
Yeah, it's really easy.
Yeah. It's easy to. It's a difficult song to sing.
It is. It's a
The
total.
range is crazy.
It's nuts. And if you start
Yeah.
a little high, you're doomed.
You're doomed.
All the presidential candidates who aren't named Trump or Kamala had a debate last Wednesday. And if you haven't seen it, the national anthem singer dropped multiple F-bombs during the song. Her name is Loomis.
I did not see this.
She got to Rocket's Red Glare, and her voice cracked. Then she said, I effed it up, forgot she was live, and asked if she could start over. Wow. She issued an apology yesterday. She said she got nervous and just panicked and felt bad because her family was watching, including her dad, who's an Army veteran. She told TMZ she's fine with it, though, because, quote, failure is greatness sometimes.
No.
Who's...
Failure leads to greatness, though.
I beg to-
Failure can lead to greatness.
I beg to
You know,
differ on
it
that
becomes
one.
a motivator.
But it's not
right?
greatness.
And lessons learned and things like that. Yes, I can agree with that. But
Yeah.
it's not very often that actual failure is greatness itself. Sometimes.
Not in that situation.
Sometimes. It's those accidents, those happy accidents. You know, those are the...
That was not a happy
Yeah,
accident.
And the Rocket's Red Glare is far enough into the song.
You're not
It's
gonna
not like she said, "Oh, say, can you..." Hold on, I started wrong. "Oh, say," and like change the key. Like she's halfway through the song.
Yeah.
And then she drops an F-bomb.
Mm.
I think
Classy.
She should
Classy.
be deported.
Classy.
Well, she doesn't understand the purpose of what she was doing.
Oh, she does. Which is sad,
Yeah.
since her dad is a veteran. Stephanie Ray, what do we have for days today?
Okay, we have some good days. But there's a not. Do you want me to start with the dumbest day ever or the best
Oh,
days?
start with the dumbest.
Okay. And this, I don't care who I offend in this because it is, there just should not be this sort of day.
Well, you didn't make the
Because
day up.
Failure
No.
leads to
So you
greatness.
might offend someone, but it's still not, it's not your day.
I absolutely don't care. It is National Chucks and Pearls Day.
I don't even know what that means.
I love that you don't. I love that you guys don't know this.
Is that like
nobody should know this?
Steak and
No.
oysters?
Chucks and Pearls Day is celebrated on October 28th every year to honor the simple but unique dressing style of the second most important person in the U.S. Do you know who this is?
The vice
In
president.
whose opinion?
Exactly. Kamala Harris, the first female vice president of the United States, who is known for wearing Chuck Taylor Converse sneakers and a
right.
pearl necklace to numerous
Oh, okay.
notable events. Her
I got it.
fans throughout... Stop sounding like it's okay. Stop it. Just
No, I get
stop
it.
it. No, you do
I
not
get
get it. Her fans throughout the country
That's hilarious.
dress up like her to celebrate her humble but happy existence. I'm sorry, I'm reading it this way. Harris not only set the White House record, but also a slew of other milestones in her life. Latonga Rainey founded Chuck and Pearl's Day in 2021 to recognize the first female president or vice president and the highest ranking black female politician in our country.
I can't believe they made it a day already, though. I mean, is
2021, it's been around.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I'm really glad I'm not wearing Chucks today because I do actually.
It is ruined.
Chucks and pearls.
I've never had any
That's really
Chucks, but I will
funny.
never wear them. Okay, so let's
really
move on.
funny.
I'm sorry, it was dumb. It is, of course, like you said, National First Responders Day, National Chocolate Day.
Yeah,
That
it
is
is.
the best one, in my opinion, on the list. Well, no, I'm sorry. The First Responders is for sure. National Immigrants Day. Of course, the United States of America is known as the world's melting pot. And every year on October 28th, National Immigrants Day gives us a reason to reflect on just how unique that distinction is among the world's 195 sovereign nations. As Americans, we're proud of our long history of welcoming immigrants from all parts of the world. So that is very good. Plush Animal Lovers Day. This is Amanda's day. She has lots of plush animal type things in her house.
These aren't real animals. These are plush animals.
Plush animals.
Okay.
How do you?
Stuffed animals.
Because I have purchased you something plush, and you have some on your desk, I'm sure. So that is a very cute day because it involves Amanda.
I bought my uncle a plush toy while I was there.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. Yeah.
You've also bought your boyfriend a plush
did.
many years before he was your boyfriend, actually.
Yes.
Anyway, those are our days.
She knows how to snag them.
Yeah, she does.
She got a plush
Reel
toy.
him in with a plush toy.
Yeah.
That's
He went to Jared. She went to the plush toy department.
well, the big spender over there.
That would be due to our jobs and the income levels. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, well, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more of the Morning Scramble.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and that means there's no better time than now to educate yourself on preventing, finding, and treating breast cancer. Visit Olympic Medical Center's online health library to answer questions like, what should I know about mammograms? Does my family history put me at risk for breast cancer? And what questions should I ask my doctor? Find answers to these questions and more at olympicmedical.org/breastcancer.
It's National Karastan Month at McCrory Carpet One. When you choose Karastan flooring, you choose timeless pieces that fit perfectly within your home, flawlessly crafted for long-lasting beauty. And when you pair Karastan with expert installation from McCrory Carpet One, you have flooring that stands the test of time. During Karastan Month, you'll find the biggest Karastan savings of the year, with prices starting at just $2.99 a square foot for carpet and $4.99 a square foot for LVP. National Karastan Month at McCrory Carpet One, going on now. Welcome back to the Morning Scramble, brought to you each and every weekday by our friends over at Swain's General Store, where their spooky sale is going on through tomorrow. I practiced that spooky.
That was good.
Thank you.
Good
Well
job.
done.
Well
Nobody's
done.
paying attention in here. Men's flannel shirts are starting at only $10.87. You're going to save $6.
You need a
on
magnifying
those.
glass there,
Who
Amanda?
printed this?
Yeah.
Todd did this as a joke before he left, didn't he? That's the tiniest font. Men's canvas jackets from NE Limited are on sale for $27. They're regularly $27.87. They're regularly $54.87. You're going to save $27 on those.
That's half price, basically.
That's
Wow.
basically, yeah. Thank you. Math ain't my strong suit, but
Neither
English is.
Neither is. Yeah.
Men's knit shirts are 40% off. There's footwear from Grunz at $10 off. Blowfish women's casual shoes, 20% off. There are Halloween pumpkin carving kits, $5 off. There's Palm Pals. If you want to celebrate Plush Toy Day, you can go get a plush toy for under $5. And there's Spiderweb projection bucket, i.e. the candy handler.
There's lots of Halloween decoration things on sale there, I noticed.
It's almost like
Yeah.
it's this week.
That's right. So it's kind of like get it now or forget about it.
Exactly. And they have another big sale once this spooky thing is over, starting on the 5th. So what's that, next week?
Yes.
Big sale. Big.
Next
Big.
Tuesday.
Big. I got some info for you here. A recent study looked at 2,000 wedding playlists on Spotify to find out the most popular songs. If you've attended a wedding recently, there's a chance you've probably heard some of these on the dance floor. I thought you might find this interesting.
Wait, these are selections that people have used for their reception?
Yes.
So if you have a reception where Spotify is your DJ?
Yeah, these are the ones you're going to hear.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, coming in at number 10, the ever-romantic Low by Flo Rida. Shorty get low, low, low,
This
low.
is definitely the after 8 p.m. song, the reception.
I have to tell you about a song that I requested at my cousin's wedding because she was awful. It's a cousin that doesn't live here.
Oh,
we're not close.
One of those.
And
she's not listening.
She's not listening.
Thank goodness.
Anyway, I'll tell you about that wedding. I was asked to stand in a different room to sing because I didn't fit the aesthetic. It's fine.
Wow.
It's fine. That was the least of my problems. So I dedicated a song to her at the end of it. Anyway, Shut Up and Dance by Walk the Moon coming in at number 9. Crazy in Love by Beyonce.
That's okay.
It's a good one. Marry You by Bruno Mars.
That's adorable.
I know that
one of my favorites.
That's the first one I know.
So good. I Got a Feelin' by Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah. That's a good
September, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Aw.
Mr. Brightside, The Killers. That's a good song.
I love The Killers.
Number 3, coming in hot, Yeah, by Usher, featuring Little John and Ludacris.
I'm sorry, that's a great song.
It's a great song.
It really is.
Never thought of it as a wedding song.
No.
Number 2, Mark's personal favorite, I Know for a Fact.
What?
Dancing Queen by ABBA.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah,
That's-
my dad's
no.
too. He's
Oh,
not an
my-
ABBA fan at
can't-
all.
Can't stand ABBA.
Coming in at number 1.
Yeah.
I fully agree with this.
Yeah.
That's great.
Isn't this a great song?
It is.
Because for a wedding, it doesn't seem appropriate because you found somebody. I mean, it's like I want to dance with somebody.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, I think you found someone. You can't just be like somebody.
I think you are correct, sir. I think that's why it's so funny to me. Just a random. I want to dance with a rando is basically how this.
Yeah. Anybody. I want to dance with anybody.
Now maybe it's after the garter and flower toss, and it's the
That would work.
catcher and catcher getting
Okay.
together.
All right.
Maybe,
That tracks.
but I don't know. I don't know where at in the ceremony.
I want to dance with anybody.
Anybody.
I'm feeling desperate tonight. So here's another thing. Even if you don't do any things to celebrate Halloween, which is Thursday, by the way.
I'm so sad I don't get to dress up with you.
Trust me, you're going to really miss my costume this year because I have it planned out. I asked Siri what I should be for Halloween, and I'm going with it.
AI decided what you should be?
Yeah, and it was I asked as a joke, and then I was just like,
they
this
have
is the greatest.
Funniest answers. I've done it.
So I'm 100% dressing up.
You're not going to be, what's her name?
Tatiana?
No. That's the best.
Tatiana is single.
She's very cute.
And-
very cute.
And I don't know if I can play single right now, said Amanda for the first time ever. Even if you don't have anything to celebrate Halloween, you'll probably admit this is a spooky time of year. So here's what creeps people out. In a new survey of 3,000 Americans, only 3% of people claim to be literally fearless, meaning that 97% of the people are spooked by something. They gave people a list of common fears and asked them to rate their discomfort level. Then they mapped the results by state. The number 1 fear, death. It was the highest fear factor in 17 states, including Washington, California, Nevada, Colorado, Texas, Minnesota, Ohio, New York, Tennessee, and Florida.
Wow.
Number 2 is heights. It got the most votes in 8 states, including Pennsylvania, Michigan, Maryland, Virginia, and Georgia. Number 3
All
is
flatlanders.
Yeah. Number 3 is snakes.
Ugh.
You hate
Number
those.
I just anything that moves. Really, number 4 fear is a tie between public speaking and enclosed spaces, which usually you're doing if you're public speaking. So that's a double. I know. And number 6 is the fear is a tie between failure and spiders.
Oh.
Interesting. Ghosts and spirits were also an option, but they were only number 1 in one state, which is Montana. Yeah, a lot of ghost towns in that state, so I can understand.
A lot of spirits,
that.
too. Whiskey type.
Oh, good one. Aren't you funny?
Well, you know.
It's time for
I work really hard at it.
Yeah, you do. This is the only reason Mark comes in.
I come for the coffee, actually.
And the random facts.
You're welcome.
And also the random facts, yes.
Yeah.
They make me smart.
Okay. These won't. Lest, if you're getting your intellect from here, you are.
There's a
going to be
problem.
Big trouble.
Big problem.
Last Friday, NVIDIA dethroned Apple as the world's most valued company, and yet their unofficial company motto is, quote, "Our company is 30 days from going out of business."
Wow.
It's been around for 30 years. They do graphic chips and stuff.
Yeah.
It's illegal to mispronounce the word Arkansas in Arkansas.
Arkansas?
Arkansas.
You probably won't get arrested for calling it Arkansas, but they won't be happy. I think that's a gun-toting state, isn't it?
I like that.
Redheads have less hair on their head than people with other hair colors. The average redhead has 90,000 strands of hair versus 110,000 strands for blondes. A lot less for unnatural blondes, I'll tell you that right now. And 140,000 strands for brunettes. But red hair is thicker than the other two.
Wow, interesting.
Cassius Clay never legally changed his name to Muhammad Ali, mainly because in the 1960s you didn't need to. The Social Security Administration didn't require a legal name change to switch your info on your Social Security card.
Oh.
Interesting.
These
Yeah.
are good.
Thank
good.
you. And I didn't make them up. Woody Harrelson's father, Charles, was a hitman who was convicted of killing a federal judge in Texas in 1979.
Really?
He died in federal prison doing a life sentence.
Wow.
right?
That is so
Very
interesting.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
curious.
Huh.
Just saying. Oh, wow. There goes our music.
I think that means we're
Are
done.
we done?
We're supposed to be doing the
That
news
was
or something
so
now.
I mean, we have a couple of more moments. And I'm sure that they're going to be just as packed with information as the first few moments.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today on the Morning Scramble, brought to us by Swain's each and every Friday. I'm Amanda Bacon, filling in for Todd all week.
And
Stephanie?
we're all here tomorrow, right?
We are here tomorrow.
The three of
all
us,
yeah.
again.
We'll do it
Oh.
again. We'll try again because first time through, we could use it. We could use another round.
Lucky
with a
listeners.
practice.
You know
Lucky
that I started to
listener.
give out my personal phone number on the air.
I
for
heard it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so glad you didn't get the last two.
Such an
Oh, I
idiot.
could do that for you.
Here we go. Bye.
Rely on us for complete news coverage. We're Newsradio KONP, Port Angeles Squim, a Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News.